Hello, everyone, and welcome to Huxley's Book Club. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Mike, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. The Book Club, it's going to be wholesome, confusing, and potentially, hopefully at the end, wholesome again. But we'll see if we can keep track. Well, for those who are new to Dungeons & Dragons, everyone here plays fantasy characters in our fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique character, with sheets that tell them who they are, what they can do, their deepest secrets, and what dice to roll. They mostly will be rolling 20-sided dice to see if they succeed in what they're trying to do. 20 is good, 1 usually hilariously bad. And whilst they play their characters, everything else in the fantasy universe is played by me. People, monsters, weather patterns, you name it. Between me describing the world and the story, the players describing what they want to do, and some dice rolls to keep things unpredictable and interesting for us all, we will tell our story. Let's meet the players and hear a word from our sponsors.
Hello, my name is Liz. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Huxley Bricklesnout, who uses he, him pronouns. Huxley is a cute old bugbear. He's brightly coloured with blues and pink fur. He's a wizard of the scribe variety. Was a temporary member of the Shepherds, hoping to get back there soon. But his main job is a library shelf stacker, and perhaps something that not many people know, the founder and leader of a book club at Blackstaff Academy.
Hi, I'm Johnny. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Blaze, who uses they, them pronouns. Blaze is a tiny little fire elemental. They are a genie warlock, and they like to keep everyone's coffee warm, which is a nice little trick that they can bring to the table when sitting down for a warm cup of something at a nice, safe book club.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Tine Vandermeer, who also uses she, her pronouns. After the events of Ancient Antics, in which Tine heroically and selflessly gave up her princess title for the pig folk and found out that prophecies are not real, she wrote a memoir of her adventures and has subsequently joined Huxley's Book Club to kind of peddle the memoir a little bit and just to make some new friends. So we'll see what this new chapter entails.
Hi, I'm Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Alaric Surian, who also uses he, him pronouns. Alaric is a ranger rogue. He will tell you a lot that he is retired and he is no longer an adventurer, and he goes on about that quite a lot. He also has a very big fascination with a book called 50 Shades of Fae. Hopefully that comes up at some point.
My name is Nathan, and today I will be playing Grimnir Dirgeblade, who also uses he, him pronouns. Grimnir the Dragonborn is a renowned reaver, plunderer, murderer, and adventurer who is trying to get a bit better handle on his rage and settle into his middle-aged years in this book club.
We are delighted to be sponsored by HeroForge. HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see all of the minis that we designed for this stream in the overlay, and they animate when we enter the combat, so look out for that. HeroForge are fantastic, so do check out the Pro membership where you can get premium access to features ahead of time, and beta access to things, and all sorts of cool stuff that just makes your life a lot easier. And you can check them out at heroforge.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They make accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and more. My favourite part of their collection are their figurines of adorable power. Here is their gazer. They also make other things such as deck boxes if you play Magic the Gathering. You can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com.
Hey friends, check out our new sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for a carefully curated menagerie of click-clack math rocks for your delectation. Check out their entire selection at phoenixdice.com, and just so you know, Phoenix Dice are all about living gloriously in the worlds of tabletop games and sustainably in this one, which means their dice are working to be recycled, their packaging is recycled, the dice are made of sustainable materials. It's all great stuff. You should definitely get involved. You can also join us today in chat with a chance to be be in a raffle and win some Phoenix Dice of your own. Just put !dice into chat and you'll be in with a chance to win.
We are proud to be sponsored by Alchemy RPG. Reimagine your gaming experience with Alchemy. They're focused on creating immersive, cinematic experiences everywhere you interact with tabletop role-playing games. You could be playing a game, creating a world, streaming, watching live games, discovering new content. Look at all the cool stuff that they are doing there. You can use environmental motion art, scene-based music, seamless character management to run your games over the internet, with upcoming features including homebrew content, streaming overlays, and spectator mode. So go and check out alchemyrpg.com.
We're delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. Select your heroes and formation and battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. You can pop exclamation code into chat for a free Electrum chest.
We're delighted to be supported by Neverwinter. In Neverwinter, explore and defend one of the most beautiful cities from Dungeons & Dragons' Forgotten Realms campaign setting as it rises from the ashes of destruction. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter. Neverwinter is completely free to play, so set yourself up an account today and pop !NW gift into chat for a link to a free gift.
Check out our wonderful supporters Elderwood Academy, who make beautiful bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck boxes disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. Make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
This stream will run for 3 hours, and there will be roughly a 5 to 10 minute break somewhere towards the middle. We run shows on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Greenwich Meridian / British Summertime, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. in mainland Britain, and 2 a.m. Tuesday mornings in Japan and parts of Australia. On Mondays, we run TTRPG streams. These can be one-shots, 4, 6, 8, or even 12 weeks long. You can always find out our latest schedule at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg/schedule. On Tuesdays, we have our ongoing campaign, Fracture. And on Fridays, we have our talk show, Talk Together, and Talking is a Free Action, which lasts for 1 hour.
We are Roll Together RPG on all socials, so find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok. Links in chat.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Help us make our shows from just £1, $1, or $1 gold piece, and unlock more tiers by joining. Our D20 Club are fab. They've created a fan Discord for us. They've also made a wiki page for Roll Together. You can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
Welcome to our podcast listeners. If you also would like to listen to us via podcast, you can search Roll Together RPG on your favourite podcast provider. If we're not there, let us know and we will add ourselves to that list.
Finally, we play a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do just let us know if you think one has been missed. Check out !safety in chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit. And now, let's begin. Hello, and welcome to well, let's hope we're classy and we're all dressed classy in some form. Ready for a party, maybe? A gathering? I'm not sure. You find yourselves sort of presented with this glamour by the Prattler. He's wearing this incredibly sharp ebony black suit that's a tuxedo, full with all the layers, everything you could think of. The silver hair sort of slicked back, the beret has gone, and in front of you, and you could have sworn he might have even shaved for this as well. As he stands there and goes, "Who fancies a classy adventure and story?"
Oh, finally!
I thought you'd like that. Now, no offense, but you can't go in wearing what you're wearing. I mean, you all look like you've been in the jungle for an adventure.
So less clothes?
Me, as long as you've got a bow tie.
Because I've gone to big parties wearing a lot less than this.
This reminds me of our book club rips, and I rip my trousers off.
Oh, I'm feeling a whole lot of things I've not felt before. Right.
Good party.
Huxley, Tux, what are we feeling? How would you want to look? Would you like a classy gown?
But I've already got my own classy gown, which I'm happy to put back on. I like the fact that I can move my arms. You see, the arms don't restrict my wrists, which I need a lot of the time for my spells. But something preferably so that it's quite high up the thigh, so that my legs get ample breeze. I get very warm.
I can cut him again for you too if you need.
That would be splendid.
Whichever. I mean, no pressure.
And perhaps something like a very fashionable brogue for my feet, with socks. I like to be classy if I can be.
Actually, you know what I think would really become you at a party like this is sequined short shorts.
Oh my god!
Do they come in different colours?
You can have it so that when you wipe them, they go to a different colour.
Don't tell me these things, Tine. I
know what you like.
Or the face of a very famous actor, depending on the shorts.
I'm feeling something happening. Tine, maybe you should dress everybody.
This is my moment to shine.
It's what you were born to do, Tine.
Oh, it was. Okay.
I line up next to everyone.
Yeah, and cue the montage. Tine will listen to what everybody wants and then put a certain spin on it. Probably. So, Huxley, you do get the sequin shorts. They are not the, they do not have
wipe
the
on, wipe off
actor on them.
Right.
They just kind of, when you ever swipe them, it goes from one rainbow colour to another.
Now we're talking. It's like having my own minor illusion on myself.
With a more comfortable robe over the top, but that still has a little bit of dazzle to it, and it's got some satiny shimmers down the lapels.
I do enjoy satin. Thank you, Tine.
And there's a couple of bows in your beard just to class it up.
In addition to a bow tie, I hope. I don't mean to turn up to this thing in a casual way.
No, there is a modestly sized bow tie, but big enough to peek out the sides of your beard, just so that it can be properly seen and appreciated.
I look very dapper, thank you very much, Tine.
Who's next?
What would you like?
A suit that the ends of it glow from my fire, but contain it. You know, like those race wagons with the underlighting.
Yes.
Like that, yeah.
You get is kind of like a 70s style cut suit, and it does seem to glow. It seems to go as you move. But what really lights up the show is if the lights turn out, Prattler, if you will.
He clicks, and what do you want to appear?
Suddenly we're at a rave, and it's all just...
I glow in the dark?
You glow in the dark.
Yes.
And it goes with the flames as you go them, like kind of like amber lighting. Like if you have some flames glow more in your hands, the lights go more to that way.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
You're welcome. Alaric, what's tickling your nips?
I'd like just like I'll go for a black shirt, black trousers, and a waistcoat, and I'll allow you, and it's a canvas for you to do what you want with it.
Surely there must be some personal flair that you want, or is it just the black?
I mean, silver looks quite nice on black, so some sort of silver engraving or lining or something would be quite nice, I think.
Okay. So what you get is like some relatively tight suit trousers to just accentuate that adventurer's ass that we all know you have. And like crushed velvet blazer over the top, but on the inside it's all like silvery and looks kind of iridescent and liquid-like on the inside. And your bow tie is black on one side, but if it moves, you can see the kind of silver underneath with sparkles that still come out because, you know, you've got to. And additionally, there are now some little kind of silver engravings over your... I believe you have spectacles, don't you?
I do sometimes wear spectacles, yes.
The spectacles now have like intricate silver engravings to kind of go with some of the details of the suit.
I might request Prattler that I keep these glasses afterwards.
That might be arranged.
Thank you very much, Tita. It's very nice of you.
You're welcome. And Grimnir, what would you like? Something to accentuate those gams?
So, like, I haven't been to that many parties, like fancy parties, and like basically the only thing I've ever worn to parties, like fancy teenage parties, like the ones in your book, is like, well, like a lot of like jewels, like a lot of like jewels and chains, and I don't know if it worked, but I did do it. And another time, it was a no shirt. A couple of times, I show up a lot with no shirt on back in the day or less, or a costume party. And those are basically like the three genres that I have. So I don't really have a lot to work with or really any idea of where to start. And I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to do it wrong.
So you have seemed throughout this process to be very keen to kind of rip off the clothes and show off that bod of yours. And I want to give you that moment.
I mean, yes-ish. It's a different time in my life where, it was a lot of intimidation and a lot of like, look at my incredible body. And, I'm trying to learn and grow, but also be okay with my self-image. So I don't know, whatever you think is best.
So, on the underlayer, it's just going to be like a little short situation, okay? But don't let the simplicity and their satin, so that they're luxurious and soft and they just kiss your skin. But on top of that, it's an open robe, bedazzled, jeweled, all of the colours, all of the jewels that you can possibly imagine, with gold trimming around the wrists, and it swishes with you as you go, with an optional hood for intimidation should you choose to use it, but it looks fabulous down as well. And this can be worn open or closed. And it also, I would imagine, open would be best to show off those legs of yours. They are one of your most beautiful assets.
Great gams.
Great dragon gams. There might be punters here for Dragon Gams Monthly, so...
and like, I'd imagine it just like magically appears as this is all like getting described, and he just like stands there kind of like swishing. You know, just the little tails just go around, and it's like, usually my clothes are made out of like burlap. This is much nicer.
Actually, something I think would really suit you. We can say no to this if it doesn't work, but flower crown. Trying something new.
It's your vision, so sure.
What do we think? Flower crown?
Blaze is furiously nodding.
I think that sounds splendid.
I think something to bring out Grimnir's eyes. You do have such beautiful eyes, Grimnir. You should show them off more often.
Bloodshot and like horrific and yellow.
Something red, Tine.
Something red.
Yes.
A lovely rosy flower crown.
Well, don't you all look, Bill Whitefall? Are we all sitting comfortably?
Oh, yep.
Alaric, why don't you keep your leather chair? You've earned it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Well, no further ado, let's go. And the familiar. Now, Alaric, I think at this point, you're prepped and you're ready. You've got your point to center on. Quickly move your head back to it. Although you might
Grimnir's legs. Grimnir's legs is what I focus on.
Yeah, just like... But you get to spin once again into this roller coaster event. And this time, sort of slowly introducing, you see this white sort of wisp-like cold that spins around, and you can see marble, not dissimilar to the marble floors of the library, but this is more like luxurious, and it's got all like the markings and seams in it, spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. You appear in this large, like, receiving room of what you imagine would be some sort of palace. To one side, you can see windows, these beautiful stained glass windows on the outside, and just sort of beautifully inlaid, and you can see the gold lining on them. The walls are stunning and sort of sectioned with different designs. The room is, you are on your own, but instead of your usual seating, it's all like luxurious sofas and chairs. Outside of the windows, you can actually see it snowing. Not heavily, just quite soft and lovely. And you're all there. The doors, there's sort of huge oak doors that are shut currently to this room. There are sort of trays with multiple sort of flutes of champagne, among other things. But apart from that, you five are in the room on your own currently.
Champagne? I'm going to mage hand slowly towards the flutes while looking around.
You'll take it from the mage hand, don't mind if I do.
Is there enough champagne flutes for everyone?
Yeah, and some, to be fair. There'll be about a couple of dozen on these trays. You feel sorry for any server that will have to walk around with them.
Oh, only helping then.
So there's 10 fewer champagne flutes. Is assume everyone takes one, and then Grimnir has like Wolverine claws of champagne flutes that he's just walked around in.
Make a sleight of hand check to pull this off.
Knowing this was going to happen, I would have given you cup holders in your cape.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, you got no issue doing
Grimnir knows how to party.
Grimnir's done this before.
Oh yeah, well practiced. He just hundreds, if not thousands, of gold pieces worth of champagne flutes of crystal just ruined across Grimnir's decades of adventure.
So Huxley has tusks, right? So trying to get the champagne flute, because it's quite a narrow rim. Trying to drink from that, I guess Huxley would struggle. So you would see like the champagne begin to cascade down his nice new clothes, Tine, as he's trying to sup
Just
from the
all at
champagne
once.
flute.
Prattler, can we get some straws? The twirly straws? No? Okay, I herald over a servant.
Yep. The door sort of slowly opens, and a well-dressed elf sort of pokes out. Princess Tine, you. What can I get you?
Yes. Can we please get some curly-whirly straws for my friends who,
Yes.
practice with champagne flute?
Would you like the ones made of ivory, or would you like the ones made of wood?
Ivory, of course.
Oh, of course.
Do you happen to have any pearl straws? I'd like a pearly-whirly straw.
Yeah.
A truly original, sir. Truly original.
They're some in my personal collection, I imagine, Prattler.
They disappear and they come back with this collection of straws. Each straw has a pin on the back of it with a strawberry in it as the server passes them each out to everybody.
Grimnir holds all the cups out at once and demands 6 individual straws and then goes around drinking with 6 straws in his mouth.
Princess Tine, the hall is ready for your entrance.
Princess?
Ooh. Get an entrance, okay. Okay, what is this?
Would you like me to announce you? I can announce it. I can announce you,
Announce me.
and I'll pull out my horn.
Absolutely. Okay, now when we go... Now, Blaze, you'll go in first, and you will announce us. And the rest of you, I would like you to be around me as my entourage.
Do you wish me to scribe everything you say?
That would be fun for you. It is a party.
I will scribe everything you say.
Material for your next book, Tina, as well.
Oh, at this point, I should work with you, Huxley, on the next one, or we can get started.
At least the spelling would be correct. Yes, Tine, that would be a very good idea.
Is Entourage that bodyguard kind of thing, or what's the... I don't know.
A fabulous
What's the vibe?
bodyguard
Okay.
that also is there to laugh at my jokes.
That's an important question, actually, just bringing us back. Anybody that does, you have your weapons on you? Or would have Tine sort of gone, that's not very couth of you?
I'll put it this way: if Grimnir is not bringing his weapons in, he would have had to have been individually told, not the greatsword, not the hand axe, not the other hand axe that you're trying to hide behind your back, not that dagger, not even the dagger that Huxley gave you. None of it. It would have been a large scale conversation, not one that he's unwilling to entertain, but is okay, sure, greatsword. Wait, more? What?
Tine would allow the great sword with the proviso that it's a good conversation starter.
Absolutely. And it's a ceremonial piece as well. You can always twist it in whatever way you wish. So you come out and it's this sort of great hall, lined along each side, sort of stood with their backs to the walls, are servers, and there must be maybe 30 of them all stood in a line waiting. They all sort of have a towel on one arm, and they're sort of stood ready and waiting.
One last thing, Blaze. Remember, I'm not a princess anymore, but if you could say ex-princess, that would help my self-esteem immensely.
I thought you were a princess.
No, I gave that up when I did something nice. I'm now a knight, also, technically. Any way you want to spin this.
Okay. I got this. I've got this.
Yes. I believe in you.
I believe in myself.
Good.
Start raising the horn. Is there an audience for me to be playing to? Or?
You can see there's a hallway, and then at the very end of the hallway, it looks like there is these sort of large, drawn sort of icy blue curtains. And there are 2 knights in sort of armor is very paladin-esque armor, very grandiose, polished, white armor holding halberds, and they're sort of stood with the halberds cross in an X, which looks very much so like the direction to go in.
I'm going to announce our arrival because I'm ready for it. So I do the whole sort of my horn as loud as I can. And then
as soon as you toot it, the halberds slowly lift and the curtains are opened. And you can see there is this entire ballroom ahead of you, and all of the faces. You have just a mixture of all sorts of different races, people, all looking towards you. They're all in tuxedos and noble clothing. All of them have got like a champagne glass or a whiskey glass in their hands. Brune, you do notice that there's a couple of a little bit more rough people with like tankards of ale, sort of barbarian-esque people sort of in one corner watching. But this room has your attention as they all look down the corridor towards the five of you and the horn.
So I'm going to use minor illusion constantly to give my voice an echo, because it can create a sound. So okay. Cast your eyes, cast your eyes, cast your eyes. Upon the arrival. Right, the kobolds can probably edit the echo in there, so I don't need to do it myself. Cast your eyes upon the arrival of ex-princess Knight Tine and her fearsome 3. And then prestidigitation sparks in like a semicircle over the entryway that we're coming in from.
Are there stairs that descend down to where we're going, or is it just a straight corridor?
Oh, God.
Do you want like the grandiose staircase entrance?
My fair lady, grandiose staircase.
You originally it was just like an entrance into a ballroom, but when you sort of like question that, you hear like a little, oh, that is there, and then the hallway like lifts up slightly, and a staircase appears in front of you.
I'll nudge Grimnir in the side. I'll look to him and just go, follow my lead, go the opposite side. I'll walk 3 steps down in front of Tine on the left side, turn round, kneel to her, and then raise my hand up for her to take it, and hopefully Grimnir does it on the other side.
Oh,
no, Grimnir
nice.
is like 1/4 second behind you at all points, and but is like watching you like a hawk and just.
I want to start DJing on the horn behind, like just like some like R&B.
Huxley will just be stood as all of this is happening, looking very awkward but happy that he's just writing everything that's happening. He's like center stage right now, being very awkward, just happily writing.
Tine will take both of the hands and kind of incline her head a little bit, send a message to Blaze saying, it might be good to name the others as well. I mean, we are friends. It seems nice.
I'll immediately jump up onto one of the banisters and stop R&Bing with the horn. Presented Grimnir!
Strike a pose, dear.
Strike a pose, quick. And then Blaze is going to levitate across the scene onto the other banister. Alaric!
Awkward wave.
And then continue to play on the trumpet as a Blaze goes upside down, floats backwards, and then points down at Huxley and Huxley!
Huxley will, like, as a reaction to this, mirror image himself. Like an instant, oh my God, don't look at me. Look at all of me.
And then Blaze turns back upside down, goes up, and then just explosion of fire and Blaze like just like screaming.
You hear in your head, now bring it back to me, back to me, back to me.
And Tine! Shower from above you. Blaze is just pouring sparkles like precipitation, glitter, like the whole thing as we walk.
It's incredible because there is this huge intensity to your entrance. You're creating this like absolute epic reveal, and then we'll just almost like a camera switches to the audience, and they're all just like really prim and proper, and they're all like either tapping their glasses or just like really. They all seem really impressed, but it's like really like compared to the intensity, and then you just come back and there's like, yes, and then you can hear like the mutterings and mumblings of them all speaking. Music begins. Tine, what would be your favourite? Would you have like an enjoyable jazz sequence or some waltz, or just some traditional classical, or would we go even sort of off kilter, a bit of heavy rock in the background? What would be depicting of Tine's past?
I feel like, is this specifically depicting of the past, or who she is and her inclinations now?
More past, but you can have some influence.
Because I was going to say that what would probably be her jam is some more classical pieces, like kind of operatic, with a bit of a beat to them, that have been remixed in the 2,000 years since they first came out. And she's been enjoying the new swing that has become fashionable, but with that really classical kind of traditional base of, those kinds of dances where you do the hands and yeah.
Fantastic. So we have that sort of echoing through this hall. To give you a context of the amount of people, there is probably around 25 to 30 people in this ballroom, and it is still relatively spacious. The entire floor is there is one large area in the middle, which you'd imagine traditionally would be for dancing, if that was part of the evening's intentions. But surrounding on the outside are these huge circular tables where there are a couple of people sat talking, and there are these great displays of food, all sort of impeccably put together, and they look stunning and inviting. But when you actually get close to them, Grimnir, if you tried to pick one up, you'd probably it'd be like tiny little canapes in your fingers. But they're all, every single one, the table's full of food, but when you actually get close and look, they're all just tiny little canapes of different things. The actual room itself, stylized wise, it's all in blue and white, like sort of baby blues. There are these on nearly every single table as well. There are these huge ice structures, like carved into swans and just like lots of different animals, bears, tigers, all carved into these things. And along the tapestries on the sides, you can see icicles are growing and coming down in here.
No. Oh no.
The servers come behind, almost like flowing from behind Tine. And they're walking with sort of more drinks and more canapes on trays. And the last server, who originally came into the room, walks up to Tine, gives a slight bow. Ice Princess, is everything okay?
Sorry, I don't know who you're talking to. There's no Ice Princess here.
Definitely not.
X.
Is everything okay, my lady?
I am just kind of almost little manic laughing. It's like, Prattler, darling, can you hear me? You little fucker.
Make a persuasion check.
That is a 27.
Okay. In fact, I mean, you could make that just an intimidation as well if you wanted to.
That would also be 27.
Yeah. Only you this time for the first time. You all right?
Ice Princess?
We're telling a story.
Telling a story.
It'll be great. Trust me.
You know that I'm not the Ice Princess, and you know what this means to me. You know.
Well, I thought it'll be interesting for you to, embrace and move past.
Move past what?
See?
No, I don't. You're not explaining.
You'll see. And it's always like and then you've realized that he's gone again.
Team, huddle round.
Tine, were you having a conversation with someone? All I have is Ice Princess telling a story. You know that I'm not the Ice Princess. You know what this means to me. Move past what? No, I don't. You're not explaining.
Yes. I was talking to the Prattler. I'm afraid we're going to have to kill a god.
Sorry, what?
Going to kill a god.
Ooh. If he's the one who put all these icicles everywhere, get him. I'll get him.
Why is nearly every story about killing a god?
I guess all roads lead to deicide, I suppose.
Oh, I like that word.
That could be a new book.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe that's the story we're telling.
Maybe.
Going on a deicide.
So which what's the god? What's the situation here? Are they like an evil god or like a
ice cube?
Little god, let's call them the Prattler, who decides it's so fun and dandy to make fun of someone with something that they know is a sore spot and bring it up and try to make it into a story and a learn point when there's nothing to learn from it at all. And I'm not a fucking ice princess. I am a fire draconic princess. And just kind of wreathed in blue flame, just pure anger.
A lot of this sounds like deja vu.
Blaze moves closer towards you, Tine, for the warmth. Even though you get angry, it's like, oh, it's warm out here. Please stay angry.
Well, I've learned that none of those things are good or fun. So seems not like a good god.
You know
so
what
that
we're going to
is helpful.
You know what we're going to do now? First step of our plan.
That's...
In a way, we're going to destroy this party.
Could we have some canapes first?
Have the canapes first, and by all means, fling them into your mouth as you smash things and set things on fire. By all means, save the food.
A bugbear of my age must keep their nutrition ample. Thank you, Tine.
Huxley's low blood sugar.
Yeah, that's it.
Gotta keep it balanced.
Wait, Tine, did you kill a god?
But I will.
Oh.
I think Tine means the Prattler.
Oh.
No, they don't.
Do. You hear me, Prattler? I'm coming for you.
Oh.
She's not. You're all good. I kind of want to leave here at some point. We can't do that if the Rattler is not there to take us out.
What if this world just disappears with them?
That's a fair question, actually. What if all of the magical books that they've created magically leave?
What if they don't?
That is also a good point.
I've always been very bad at dice rolling. It doesn't work well for me.
What if this world, or the library in which we were in, is a world of the Prattler's own creation in which he has dictated that he can't die?
Yeah.
That's also a good point.
These canapes are very good. You really should try them. There's some with prawns. Do avoid those if you have an allergy. There's a lovely vegetarian, lovely scrumptious morsel as well. Tine, you look like you could do with something to eat. Please, all of you, try something.
Grimnir literally has already found an empty like giant plate or like serving dish that someone was about to take back into the kitchen, was like, hold on, and then grabs it and then just is shoveling just piles of these tiny canapes, just like a third of each of the group, and has brought it back to everybody.
Through like the rage, Tine, you can't help but like you do glance and go, you know what, they are very good. But anyway, back to being mad. The server sort of stands, and as you're sort of like professing this, the server's like almost like half in your little huddle, sort of like listening and nodding away with you, agreeing with like your madness and annoyance. And then they sort of slowly pass across another champagne flute to you. Why don't you just go and join the party and have a go? The big event will start very soon.
I clearly need to find some new friends.
We can burn it down. I'm happy to burn things down.
I don't mean to interject, but I think the big event has just arrived, my dear fellow. Tine, you saw, arrived with an entourage of 4 very accomplished people. The big event has happened. Tine is here. Whatever precedes that, I fear will pale in comparison.
I'm going to sit down now. I just sit down on a chair.
One of the servers immediately hops over to you, Alaric, and like pulls a chair out for you and then sort of shuffles it in for you. And immediately will take like a napkin and sort of waft it off and put it on your knee for you. And basically just be like, they sort of stand prepared to collect whatever canapes you want and bring them.
Grimnir sees that and he just like starts squatting and like leaning backwards, just hoping someone will catch him.
About 6 servers come running up behind. One of them goes like sort of down onto knees and hands and lets you sit down, and then the other 5 just sort of like hold you, and then they sort of slowly shuffle you across to a table.
I haven't ridden a people chair in years. This is awesome.
I'll sit down on my chair, rub my knee, and go, yes, I do need to rest this mighty fine adventurer's ass.
Gone straight to your head, hasn't it, Alaric?
Tine kind of heralds a server over and just says, bring me whoever's in charge of this party.
Yes.
Immediately. Quick.
Immediately.
Slams giant fist on hopefully a table. Hopefully the table's not made also of a server.
Pass the firebolt at an ice sculpture for emphasis.
They shuffle off and come straight. They are ready to see you, and you are. They are just at the head of the throne waiting for you.
I'll go immediately. And
you sort of walk round the corner, and there is like another staircase up, and you can see there is a throne there. And on a pedestal next to it, there is a sort of baby blue cushion with silver threads on the outside of it, and on top is a crown of ice. To the left, which you'd be surprised at, is a huge golden dragon.
Is it Reggie?
Make a history check with advantage.
Okay. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
It is a Reginald of sorts, but it's, you know, straight away with your past, with all the time that you've spent with Reggie, that it's a version of, it's not the same one, but it's incredibly similar. He looks across at you, and his monocle sort of shines and glints as he glances. Hello, Tine.
Reggie! It's so good to see you, but not you.
No, but I'm your memory of him, so very close.
Gee, why is there a party for an ice princess, and why have you thrown it in this fictional, made-up realm?
Because, Tine, it is your coronation today.
I was not.
That's what the crown is for.
I'm not a princess. I gave
You're
that
a
up to the
queen.
hags.
But what if you didn't make that sacrifice?
If I didn't make that sacrifice, I would still be in the future where the line of Vandermeer had been annihilated.
Well, this.
And I never
You could
wanted to
call-
be a queen.
What about an empress?
Ooh.
You'd make a really good empress.
I
You could
didn't
dress everybody.
I didn't get up to this bit in the book.
That does sound a lot more fun. That sounds like there's a lot more adventure involved and a lot less politics. But I would be... It wouldn't be me. I can't be the Ice Empress. Who would follow an Ice Empress? That's so lame.
I wouldn't.
I would. Sounds cool as hell. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, whatever you. I mean, I thought we were smashing, but just. Sorry.
Yes, well, that would be the catch. You would be the empress of ice and snow. But nonetheless, the empress of all. Think of all the good you could do.
It
Well,
hasn't worked out for me too well so far.
no, but at least you wouldn't have to do it just by yourself anymore. You'd have an entire world.
But I don't have to do it by myself now. I've got my friends at the book club. That's pretty much it at the moment. I've got the real you, like eventually when you wake up from your wish slumber. I've got Zelani out there somewhere, God knows where. There's a few people who can help, but I don't need an entire kingdom. Just a few admirers, and ice is not a price I'm willing to pay for it, goddammit.
And that is the best thing I've heard in 1,000 years. Good for you. Also, I don't know how the rest of the room might feel about that, but good for you.
Empress. No. Oh, is this that thing again where I do the thing that is supposed to be good and the hero's supposed to do it and then I feel bad about it later?
Well, from the looks of the audience, dealer's choice, depending on if you get out of here alive. Oh. And all the five of you sort of at that moment kind of glance behind and you can see all of the nobles and dignitaries and all these fancy dressed people are all like, some are like shocked and offended, others are like scowling, and they sort of back off from the staircase where you are, and four people walk out. These are the same white armored individuals from before who were stood guard, were using the halberds. Four of them walk up and sort of stand at the base of the staircase below where you are stood in front of Reginald. And they immediately point their halberds towards you five. And they sort of shout, "Traitor!"
Me? Us? We're traitors, says the easily melted ice subjects as I cast Draconic Transformation.
Very good.
I'm so
With
glad.
everybody, we'll do initiative we'll hit the initiative now, shall we?
We didn't get to darts.
I'm so glad that Grimnir was allowed to bring his weapons.
You know,
It's 20.
everyone's always like, Grimnir, don't bring in your big sword everywhere. Hey, Grimnir, that's inappropriate for this funeral. And everyone is always glad that Grimnir did, except for when they aren't.
Okay,
Mostly.
very important question, Nathan. Did Grimnir stand up and walk over, or were you shuffled over?
Ooh.
Shuffled, please. With those gams.
I think, unfortunately, wow, God. I really cannot think of a reason why Grimnir would have stopped, other than maybe if he felt bad, but I don't know that he did. It seemed pretty consensual. And
to be fair, just for the context, like these servers are like they're so willing to please. Like all they want to do is just like nail it. You know, when it comes to the 5-star service, they're giving you 10-star service. Like it's almost like they were created to do this or something.
Yeah, so technically Grimnir is helping them achieve self-actualization, and I don't know that he knows that word, but he knows the concept. And so therefore, I think Grimnir was indeed writing these 6 individuals into the room.
Fantastic.
He felt awkward partway through this conversation, though. You know, it was like, should I have brought them? I don't. Ooh. But it's too late now. It would be weird if I stood up and told them to go away in the middle of Tine's very intense conversation.
So, we'll start at the top for a 20 to 15.
21.
Oh, we've got a 21 for Blaze. And...
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 for Tine.
15.
15 for Alaric. 10 to 15.
13.
13 for Huxley.
10.
10 for Grimnir.
Is that the first?
We've been playing nice with you at all.
I was going to say, is that the first time you rolled double digits for?
Yeah, it's been not good. It's not ideal and I have advantage on them, and I feel like a +2 isn't like amazing, but isn't terrible. Mm-hmm. But nope.
So we'll do Teenage Surprise first.
Would you count the action of turning my draconic transformation as pre-combat or the action?
It'd be you'd have like the surprise round, so you'd have an entire round before everybody else, and then we'd go into the initiative. Was that the question you asked?
So before we went into combat, I said that I cast draconic transformation. That in itself is a bonus action. Is that part of the combat?
Yeah, you can do a bonus action, and then you will still have your action.
Cool. I fly up into the air, just like 30 feet above. And let's see, because Draconic Transformation is my highest level spell. I'm going to cast... What's something that can get a lot of people? Within range. How many people can I get in a 20-foot radius sphere?
You can get all 4 of the white armored knights, and probably like half, like 15 of the nobles if you wanted to, but they are all backing off. Like they're not pushing forwards, they're all almost like backing away from whatever this is going to become.
I'm going to include them in it. Because Tine is mad, but I'm going to cast Fireball at 5th level, and they make a dex save. All of them in that space.
Well, I'm going to say the crowd failed.
Cool.
And seen as a commoner has 8 HP, we'll see what happens there.
I feel like even minimum damage almost kills them.
Probably.
The first one is going to use Indomitable to re-roll a failed saving throw. And it still fails. So that's 1 fail on the knights. We've got a nat 1. It's going to try use its Indomitable. Okay, you've got 1 pass at a 21 at a shoot. So 1 pass and 1 fail.
So beats, so that'll be them meeting.
Oh, so they just made it. Oh, no, they failed it.
So
Meat
the
speeds.
DC
Oh,
is
yeah, so they
21.
did pass. Okay, so we've got 2 passes. Sorry, 1 pass, 1 fail. No, I'm going to try using non-dominable. I can't pronounce it. It still fails, so we've got 2 fails, 1 pass. And then we have a 19.
Fails.
Okay, it's going to use its indomitable.
Mike, very quickly, sorry to jump in. Can we see any of this?
Yes, this is going on right in front of you.
Would I be able to silvery barbs one of the passes that has happened?
Yes, so we've currently got 2 fails, 2 passes. So I'll hit one of them and re-roll. Yeah, that's a fail, so that would make it another 3 fail, 1 pass.
Oh, advantage to Tine.
Brilliant. So, if you roll your damage on the knights, and then we'll discuss how we're going to do the nobles.
That is 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Ooh! 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 fire damage on each of the people that I hit.
Yeah. Huge hit. I think we've got to get some epic descriptions going of this hit. What does this entire thing look like? Like such a powerful spell going off. It's up to you. The sort of the nobles almost, they just get turned to dust. It's just nothing gruesome or anything like that. It's almost just like a bang gone as they dissipate.
So, when Tine casts Draconic Transformation, some of her features take on a slightly more goldy, gold and blue semblance, a little bit similar to Reggie, like her eyes go very similar to his, and gold and blue spectral wings that are kind of wreathed in flame come out of her back as she rises up. She kind of puts her hands in front of her in a clap, links the fingers, and then pushes out a fireball that just is completely blue tinged with white, that just kind of barrels through the room, just like a comet, just in the middle of the guards.
They all get thrown to the floor, and you can see that their armor almost bubbles. You know, if when you pour boiling water onto snow and it almost turns to that mist, you can see that effect coming off their armor as you hit them with this heat. Shouts and screams as it all hits. You can see most of the nobles all just sort of turn and see people get eviscerated around them. They just turn and go fuck that, and they all start running out the back through the hallway. All your servers are still stood there, strong, waiting to be asked to do anything. But apart from that huge hit, it is now Blaze's turn.
Looking over at Tine oh my God. Turn to Alaric just grabs in their hand, starts, and you see this tiny little flame sphere start created, and they're trying to really focus because they're getting outdone with fire again, and they put a little bit too much effort into it. So suddenly it's just this massive fireball. They turn towards Alaric fireball 5th level.
Oh gosh.
We'll win.
We're all going to die down here.
Dear.
That's exactly the spell and level I use, so now it is just a competition.
Can we just say that sitting is a free action and I just sit down and watch it?
No, absolutely. The server continues to just give you canapes.
Alaric, you just You ask them to make you a seat. You wink, 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 wink. As like Grimnir is still just like sitting on a pile of mortal humanity.
So it's dexterity saving throw from the 4. I'm not aiming for the running nobles.
Blaze and T.
A 29.
Oh! Yep.
A natural 20.
That's some dexterous people.
For a...
It's my DC is 20, so...
Right. And 19 for a 28.
Wow.
And a 2. So 3 passed, 1 failed.
Okay.
I'm just picturing that Tine and Blaze have fired these 2 massive fireballs, and it's all going off. And just behind them, you see both Grimnir, Huxley, and Alaric being escorted to some chairs on people seats.
Are we just getting drunk in the corner as this all happens? Like, are we those people at the party?
Okay,
You're
so
having the
it'll
best
be.
time.
I rolled 2 1s, so that'll be plus 2, so it'll be 29 fire damage to the one that failed. And if they're resistant to fire, I ignore that resistance.
Oh, fantastic.
Just in case it's a thing. It's not quite blue flame. It's not quite as hot as Teenage, but maybe
This, I mean, you are just ripping these knights to pieces. You don't get as many of the nobles as Tine did, as a lot of them have all begun to run out of the room.
I wasn't to them, it's fine.
You don't get as many nobles as Tine did is a very wonderful sentence that I don't think we should gloss over.
And then you said there were stalactites on the ceiling of ice.
Yes.
I'm going to fly up to them, and
they're about 40 foot up. Just give you a rough idea.
That's annoying. I'm going to fly up and angrily growl in their direction. I was going to just gnaw on them anyway, try and detach them from the ceiling, but I'm close.
Is that your action, or your entire turn there, Blaze?
My bonus action was to make myself fly. My action was to have fireball, yeah.
Fantastic.
The movement is now 30 feet.
It is now one of the knights' turns. It is going to immediately use its bonus action it sort of spins its halberd and sticks it into the ground and puts its arms together, and you can see like the armor begin to almost like knit itself back together.
Bloody ice cubes.
But it does seem to leave like almost cracks of like what you'd see on the lake, frozen lake. You know, if you stamped on it, it'd leave those sort of cracks through it, and it leaves those sort of marks as it knits itself back together, and then it will pull the halberd back out and sort of spin it and turn, and it's going to launch it towards Blaze. First, for a 25 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
25 points of damage.
Yeah.
That is piercing, if you needed to know, or anything. It is then going to... I can't switch, so it's launched that. It's flying. It's very annoying.
The Blaze just starts cackling in the air.
Yeah. It'll pull out its short bow, as you can... Oh no, it's a action to switch weapons, isn't it? In combat?
A shield, but not a weapon.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's,
brilliant.
As long as you drop your first weapon, just drop it on the ground, and then you just draw the next one, it's fine.
So dropping and throwing. Same difference. It will pull its shot bow out then and take a knee and they sort of hold these instead of sort of straight up, almost like the Skyrim stance, like on one side, and will loose 2 arrows at you. For a...
My AC is 15.
22 to hit. And a natural 20.
Yup.
Okay, so we'll do just the standard one first. So that is...
I start looking for my lantern.
Yeah, I think all of us now who have been sipping like champagne these last few seconds are like, wait a second.
That was 11 points of piercing damage on the first attack, and then we'll do the crit. So that's
I
it.
have to. I'm going to bleed in his general direction.
That is 28, 30 on the crit.
I'm so glad I took the certain feat I did. Blaze is looking very bloodied.
As this, like, you get almost blindsided by the absolute force, and you realize that these knights don't just look epic, they are incredibly powerful. The armor and everything doesn't cut across the absolute force that it can throw and shoot at you. And the accuracy as well is so surprising with these huge helmets on that take up so much of their eye line. The fact that they can pinpoint you so easily as you're like trying to fly away from them. Tine, it is now your turn.
Cool. Before I do anything, can I look back at Reggie and see what he's doing?
Reggie currently is sort of like, he's taken his like 2 front claws and he's just like lent his head on them, and he's just sort of like half head cocked watching. But there's a really wholesome smile on his face. Like he seems. I mean, you're welcome to make an insight check with advantage for free.
Yeah, I will
I'm not
do
going
that.
to take your.
I want fatherly pride.
Yeah.
Okay, that is. So 17?
17, yeah, without... he's really proud. He's just really chuffed that you've not just... It seems that he's proud because you've decided to not just kind of go with the easy option, which is all the praise, all the, people clapping you and praising you and loving you, and you just eaten all that up, and you've gone, no, that's not who I am anymore.
I want them to fear me.
Yeah. You decided to not choose that path, which would have been so easy, and it would have been, and he seems very happy about it, and now he's just watching.
Oh. I kind of give a little wink to Reggie as I turn back. How many of the nasty ones can I fit in a 60-foot cone?
Oh, all of them.
All of them. Great. Okay, let's see. Can they each make a dex saving throw for me, please?
They can. That is a... Oh, they're not very good at that. That is a 18. Or a 14. Another 14.
Yep.
And a 21.
21 meets beats. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
3 fails, 1 pass.
The pass still takes half damage, though. But
Absolutely.
the ones that failed each get 68 force damage. And this is a bonus action, by the way.
Oh no.
Oh. Well, you'll be 68 on the 3 fails.
It's 68, right? Not 68.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said
68.
6.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you said 68 damage. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Not unreasonable at this point in combat.
27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48.
Close.
It is 48.
Oh my potatoes.
On each of them, please.
Yeah. 48. And then for the half one, that would be 24. And 48. Well, what was the point of me healing? Oh well. And then for your action?
I'm a bit unclear with rules, because with Draconic Transformation, I can use, while in the transformation, I can use my bonus action to do the breath weapon, which is what I did.
Yes.
And normally, if you cast a spell, you can use, as a bonus action, you use an action to do a cantrip. Does this follow the same rules?
If you have a quick look at the wording, see if it tells you that if it is you cast a spell, or if it is a leveled spell, then yes, but if it's just you use the equivalent of a breath weapon or your version of it, then I don't see why you can't cast a normal leveled spell as an action.
It just says, when you cast this spell, meaning Draconic Transformation, and as a bonus action on subsequent turns for the duration, you can exhale a shimmering energy.
You cast that spell on a different turn, so I have no issue with you being able to cast leveled spells.
Sweet. Cool. Let's see. How are the guards looking at the moment?
So the one on the sort of far left of you looks sort of half okay after they knitted themselves back together. The two in the middle look absolutely ripped to pieces. They might as well, for the sensor purposes, be melting to pieces at the moment. And then the one on the furthest to the right seems to have managed to sort of keep out of the way a little bit and isn't looking too terrible at the moment. But the two in the middle look very rough.
Okay, how many do you think I could fit in another 20-foot radius?
Right now, because of the way I placed them, you could technically get them all again.
Okay, I'm going to cast Fireball again at a slightly lower level. So instead of 10d6, it's now just going to be 8d6.
Tine's feeling modest, guys, just saying.
Blaze is watching on very... What's she doing next?
I do have other fire spells as well I could use. It's just it's got the biggest range. What can I say? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I rolled half of it, and they all rolled on a 6.
Okay.
What's 6 times 4?
24.
24.
Okay, and then 24, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Fire damage.
Did you need a saving throw from me?
Well, I did, of course. I got carried away.
Is it just a dexterity saving throw?
Dex save again, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, that is a fail, so that one's going to use its last Indomitable this turn for a 17, a 24.
Works, yep.
Okay, we've got one pass.
We'll still get half, though.
That's a natural 1, so the other one's going to attempt to use its final Indomitable. Fails with a 6 plus things, but that won't go anywhere, so you've got the fail. That's a 2, so it's going to use its Indomitable. Oh, for a 27. There we go. Nice. Right, we've got 2 passes, 1 fail. And then we have a fail, so it's going to use its final Indomitable for a 24. So you've got 3 passes, 1 fail.
So 3 will take 22 damage, and the other one takes the full 44, which I think is what I said.
So the 2 in the middle, they just turn to mist and steam as you just totally obliterate them. The 2 on the outside sort of look across to you, and they're just like, you can see them all. They almost like stack up into sort of like a shield wall. For now, Alaric, you're up.
Oh, do the 2 people that are the 2 knights that's still alive, do they look like they're within 10 feet of each other?
They absolutely are.
Oh, good. Funny story. Josh has been playing this character for 3 sessions now, and has only just remembered that I have spells. Whoopsie.
We haven't needed him much thus far, so.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of waddle over to Grimnir, who's probably just polished off a what they called eating something off of his fork. I'm going to take the fork out of his hand, and I'm just going to sort of move my hand a bit. And as I do, this static electricity just forms up the fork, and I'm just going to lob it at one of the knights. I'm using lightning arrow.
Wait, could that always do that?
Brilliant. The one on the left or the one on the right?
I'm going to go for the one that's closest to us.
Okay, that would be the one on the right from the context I was saying from before.
Yep, that's a 28 to hit.
28 hits.
That is going to be, to him, that is going to be 21 points of lightning damage, and then the other one that's within 10 feet needs to make a dexterity saving throw, or he will take 10 points of lightning damage.
That is a 24.
That passes, so he'll take half that, so he'll take 5.
5. Okay.
And then I'll sit back down.
Very good. Huxley.
I'm sitting as well. I'm going to remain sitting.
Never been so insulted in my life, but I love it.
Although I may send Stampy across just so I can see better what's going. My eyesight is all right, but it's not fantastic. Anyway, we've got 2 left. I think it's time to slow down. Me personally, and generally this. I'm going to fill a cube that's 40 foot on every side around the 2 gentlemen who appear to be attacking my friends. And they're going to smell molasses in the air as sand begins to kind of trickle in this 40-foot cube, and little sand timers begin to twist and sand goes down. I'm casting slow. If they could both make for me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Such a cool image.
16 on the first and a natural 1 on the other.
Both of them fail. In a nutshell, they get -2 to their AC.
Yep.
They get -2 to their dex saves.
Oh.
Yeah.
They can take an action or a bonus action, not both on a turn. And in addition, they can't make more than 1 melee attack in their turn as well. At the end of their go, they can remake that with save.
Very good.
That's enough effort for me. I'm still sitting. I'm going to take a sip of my champagne as a free action. And hope that will work. That's all.
You've got a straw. You'll be fine. Grimnir.
Okay, so quick question for Liz. The slow just affects the people right then, right? And then
Correct.
there's no
I
like
specify
lingering
the creatures. Yeah, 6 creatures of your choice. Yep.
Awesome. And then, how close together are these 2 creatures?
They're currently 10 foot around, so they're 10 foot.
Okay.
Close.
Grimnir looks at Alaric and then looks back and then looks at Alaric and then looks back and then kind of like just stands up, kind of like very, very calmly, and walks over to the creature, the like knight or whatever that Alaric threw the fork at, and he, as he does, just unsheathes his large sword and says, "I was using that cool lightning fork to eat tiny sausages. I'll be taking that back now." And he is going to, I don't think he's even going to rage, but I do think he's going to recklessly attack this guy.
Yep.
That is a 26 to hit.
Oh, that most definitely hit.
So he takes 10 points of slashing damage and another 5 points of necrotic damage.
Yep. Well, that's all that Huxley wrote. How do you want to put that one out?
It is he I'm imagining like the fork is still stuck in the armor somehow, like has just hit inside of a weird little crevice. And Grimnir isn't even like really attacking. He is just like shoving his greatsword into the crevice and is like trying to like just lever it out so that he can get his fork back. And in doing so, does some rather grisly things to whatever is inside of this creature.
Yeah, it bursts into sort of like a pile of fluffy snow. Once you've done it.
Convenient. And he just picks up.
Fills your champagne glass a little bit.
Yeah. he just picks up the fork and then like puts it in his teeth, holding it like a swashbuckling pirate, but it's a fancy cocktail fork. And he's going to walk over to the next one, assuming it is close enough, and also do a big ol' smack upon that, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Point out that for this entire turn, you're still wearing a flower crown.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. You can see the quads and calves are glistening in the sun, et cetera, et cetera. There is much shimmer. There's much flower crown. He is going to. That is a 19 to hit.
Alaric looks on in awe.
That definitely hits.
And you know what? Just for fun, I'm gonna make this a menacing attack, where I will spend one of my superiority dice. In that I am not just a barbarian, I'm much more complicated than that. He says, trying to remember what all his character can do. Exactly, which means
it's like an onion.
Exactly, takes but a scant 10 more points of slashing damage. Actually, no. 16 points of slashing damage because it's 16? All the same type. Yes, and needs to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
And that is a 15.
That is a failure. So Grimnir just like is again flower crowned, has just absolutely turned one of these things into a pulvery slush ball and is just kind of like clomps over to this other one and looks at it, clearly about to deliver a quippy one-liner and just and then remembers he has a fork in his teeth and then smacks it. But it's such was the intimidation of that moment. It is now mechanically frightened of me until the end of my next turn. But that'll be from Grimnir.
It is its turn. And, well, you're the only thing in front of it, so I guess it'll just try and swipe at you.
Unfortunately, it has to try and run away from me, I think, doesn't it?
I thought they
can attack with disadvantage.
They attack you with disadvantage.
Oh, perfect. I couldn't remember for sure.
But they can't purposely move towards you, but if you're in its melee range.
That's right. That's what it is.
It can swing at you with like
flat swing.
And just like smacks away fearfully.
Just a regular 1d20 because I reckless attack.
For it's only a 19 to hit.
Oh, that hits. I'm a barbarian. I don't have like armor or anything. Disgusting.
I think we should silvery barbs that. I'm not having any more people getting hurt.
Yeah, very good. You brought that down to a 2 on the dice.
Alaric, you get the advantage.
Oh, thank you.
And that's its turn because it can't take bonus actions and it can only take one attack out of its multi-attack.
God. Wizards are nerds, but they're fun.
Keep telling people this.
How does this creature look?
It's quivering and almost falling to pieces at the moment in front of Grimnir.
I am going to float down away from the icicle and go behind Alaric and just back to back and oh my god, like panting, just fiery blood dripping out everywhere. And I'm going to hold my action to Eldritch Blast the creature after Tine has gone, because I want to see Tine finish off her subject. So if Tine fails, my Eldritch Blast will come in.
Tine, you're up.
It's one left, right?
One left, looking very quivery, scared, and battered.
I shout to the sky, I want to be admired for my own personality traits. Can I make a dex save, please?
I absolutely can. That's a -1.
Oh, wonderful. So that's going to take 8d8 force damage again. So that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 points of force damage.
How do you want this final one to just be eviscerated?
Tine clenches her claws and just kind of lets an almighty screech out in its general vicinity. And the sound waves and the anger and the heat from her breath just kind of send ripples through the air. It goes all wavy and this kind of skin starts to go backwards, almost like an emotion machine before just slogging off before becoming nothing.
And with that, you look across and you can see Huxley, Alaric are both sat at the last table that's even half intact. Everything else in the entire room has just been obliterated. It's what looks after a northern wedding at 1 o'clock in the morning. The entire place is just absolutely trashed. You can see Alaric, Huxley sat drinking champagne and eating canapes, and just next to Alaric, your Reginald has moved and is now just next to Alaric and Huxley eating canapes as well. There's all three of you just... And that is where we'll take our break. Thank you so much for sticking around for the first half, and we'll see you in the second half. We'll be about 5-10 minutes. We'll see you then.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. On the South Coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey, heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wallet there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
We are delighted to be sponsored by HeroForge. HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see all of the minis that we designed for this stream in the overlay, and they animate when we enter the combat, so look out for that. HeroForge are fantastic, so do check out the Pro membership where you can get premium access to features ahead of time, and beta access to things, and all sorts of cool stuff that just makes your life a lot easier. And you can check them out at heroforge.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They make accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and more. My favourite part of their collection are their figurines of adorable power. Here is their gazer. They also make other things such as deck boxes if you play Magic the Gathering. You can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com.
Hey friends, check out our new sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for a carefully curated menagerie of click-clack math rocks for your delectation. Check out their entire selection at phoenixdice.com, and just so you know, Phoenix Dice are all about living gloriously in the worlds of tabletop games and sustainably in this one, which means their dice are working to be recycled, their packaging is recycled, the dice are made of sustainable materials. It's all great stuff. You should definitely get involved. You can also join us today in chat with a chance to be in a raffle and win some Phoenix Dice of your own. Just put !dice into chat and you'll be in with a chance to win.
We are proud to be sponsored by Alchemy RPG. Reimagine your gaming experience with Alchemy. They're focused on creating immersive, cinematic experiences everywhere you interact with tabletop role-playing games. You could be playing a game, creating a world, streaming, watching live games, discovering new content. Look at all the cool stuff that they are doing there. You can use environmental motion art, scene-based music, seamless character management to run your games over the internet, with upcoming features including homebrew content, streaming overlays, and spectator mode. So go and check out alchemyrpg.com.
We're delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. Select your heroes and formation and battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. You can pop exclamation code into chat for a free Electrum chest.
We're delighted to be supported by Neverwinter. In Neverwinter, explore and defend one of the most beautiful cities from Dungeons & Dragons' Forgotten Realms campaign setting as it rises from the ashes of destruction. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter. Neverwinter is completely free to play, so set yourself up an account today and pop !NW gift into chat for a link to a free gift.
check out our wonderful supporters Elderwood Academy, who make beautiful bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck boxes disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. Make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
And welcome back. I hope you made yourself a cup of tea, maybe got yourself some biscuits, or even a full afternoon tea to join us with the book club. We are all, we'll say we're all sat around one of the only standing table in the ballroom currently. Reginald is sat alongside Tine, and then we've got Alaric, Huxley, Blaze, and Grimnir all sort of in on this circular table. There is not everywhere else around you is just trashed, and there's just like pools of water everywhere where all of the old where the ice statues were, and the icicles on the ceiling. And you'll have noticed through the stained glass windows, it's most definitely stopped snowing, and it is just like a normal sunny day now. But everything's kind of settled, and you're all just sort of munching away, if you want, on your canapes.
Like the scenes from Avengers where we're all just in, everything's all dead around us, we're just sitting at a table afterwards. Huxley,
yes.
Did you? I know the Prattler is writing this all down currently. Anyway, did you happen to write it down? Everything that was going on, all the fighting and everything.
Transpired, yes. First, Tine was a main presence in the room as the knights were there. The villagers fled somewhat. Tine apparently didn't mind so much about that. And I will go on to describe the entire fight as it happened.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think that's rather good. And I hope that now that you have said that and the words that you have used, that somebody takes note of the way that you've written it and maybe gives you a credit for it in that particular section of the book.
That would be marvellous. Yes, Prattler, if there is any mention, please do include my surname, Bricklesnout. I'll give you the spelling later. Okay.
All right. You hear echoing over the hall, and you look across, and Prattler's changed into a like a janitor's uniform, and he's got a mop, and he's just in the other side of the hall, like mopping up a load of the ice, and he's like, "Whoa, well, that was epic."
It was it? You little shit.
Blaze is lying on the table like.
Grimnir has maybe by this time hopefully consensually scooped Blaze and is just like holding him like a baby in his huge arms.
Well, I mean, I was going to reuse this demi-plane, but it's trashed. It's going to take me ages to clean it all up.
I mean, Yeah, they like. Have you seen like the five of us? Like they fought us, and then like I mean, we're not like precise instruments of whatever. We just if you fight us, there's going to be a mess. That's just kind of how it goes. I think, at least for me.
Fair enough. Are we all finished here?
Aaron, I think it's time for us to have a little chat.
And perhaps a health potion for dearest Blaze. They're looking very unwell.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast one of the icicles.
When Tine says we need to have a little chat, Grimnir just like appears behind the Prattler, just still holding Blaze. Just
well, firstly, I guess the important thing, and one of the servers from before goes over with a tray. Walks over to Tine and does sort of like a half bow and presents the tray to you. On the tray, there is a champagne flute and a piece of paper.
I neck the champagne flute and have a look at the paper.
It says chapter 3. Oh gosh, my brain just went blank. Choose of ice and fire, I think. Yeah, choose of ice and fire. Chapter 3. And then it lists. But you notice that it is in Huxley's connotation, not the Prattler's.
And is it credited to Huxley?
Absolutely.
Well, at least you've credited Huxley. So at least this one is better written than every other thing in this stupid book.
Nice one. Flicks his fingers, and you all begin to shunt and spin. All the ice and water kind of gets like splattered all over your faces. And a couple of canapes. Grimnir, if you just open your mouth, you might be able to catch a couple as we spin. We spin around and you shift back into the library. The Prattler isn't there again, but you can hear like whistling coming down from sort of far down. But at this current moment, you're back at your book club table with your chairs and beanbags, and it's returned back to the normal canapé. Not canapé selection, your book club selection of foods and drinks and stuff like that.
Before the Prattler comes by, Tina would just kind of sit down for a little bit, just kind of be angry, sniff, just with a little tear, and just like, you guys do like me, right?
I walk over with a hot chocolate and a cinnamon bun. Of course we do. There you go. Take these.
What do you like about me?
You're fire?
You're cool.
No, don't say that. You're fire.
Your passion.
You are burningly cool.
Yes. You're so cool it burns.
Might I just say one thing, Tine? When you first graced the doorway of the library and shouted so fervently at the librarian and then came my way, I thought, oh God. And then you sat down and showed me your book and went on for a while. But then you showed me kindness. And that kindness has increased. I haven't noted down every time you've been kind because there's too many to note. You should not see kindness as a weakness, but as a strength. And we're awfully fond of you. I've got some parchment if you'd like to wipe your eye, or I can shape water to take it elsewhere, but use your kindness. Use it as a weapon.
Not quite sure I understand how to use kindness as a weapon.
You do it already really well.
I mean, look at the outfits that we're wearing that you hand designed for us. You've taken everything that you know about each of us and you've crafted it into these lovely, albeit now a bit wet, pieces of clothing.
Okay, so if I'm such a kind-hearted person, why Does the world have to see me as someone completely different to who I actually am? I try so hard to be heard and to be seen and to be respected, and yet all anyone thinks of me is ice and meanness and oh god, here goes Tine looking fabulous again.
It's jealousy.
And you know, it's like when people make up their mind about you, then it's hard, right? It's hard to convince them that you're different or that you've changed or that wasn't ever you, or that, you know, you don't like to burn down taverns for fun anymore. Just like, not you.
I do like
just
to burn
someone.
down taverns for fun.
Well, it's a hypothetical passion not shared by anyone in this group, I would imagine. Not, you get it. But, you know, I think what was really cool about back there was that you were confident in what you wanted and who you were. And you were like, whatever, dragon. You're like, whatever, God, whatever, other people, chair, humans. You're like, I want to do what I want to do, and I want to be the person I want to be. And that was awesome. That's the best, coolest, burniest thing you could do, I think.
And if anything, I feel very privileged to have seen the true kind Tine.
Yeah.
That's a gift that you've given me, and I'm sure you've given it to everyone else here. And if people look upon you and see your pink and blue fur and run for the hills and scream and call the guards, well, they're not worth being your friends in the first place, are they? You shouldn't want them to be your friend. Never mind, it's fine. Well, I turned up in Waterdeep a long time ago. There weren't many bugbears around at that point, and, well, people didn't like me very much. They brought pitchforks and things, but that's a different story for another day. I'm quite all right now. You see, you're being kind. You're asking me these questions, and, you know, an unkind person would probably laugh and say, oh, Huxley, you're an idiot.
Oh, well, you are an idiot, but in a different way.
No.
Do you know what I like about Tine? Oh, Tine, do you know what I like about you?
Mm?
I like that I feel safe when you're there because you will be kind, but people don't know. So, I don't know how to say this. You're nice, but you're also not nice. No.
You're tough.
Yes, you are strong in everything that Tine is, and that confidence is safe to feel around.
Hey, I'm coming round to this. Tine, the kindest ex-princess to ever have lived.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's what I meant to say.
Most kindest and most humble
Yes.
of knights of a non-existent realm.
But I know that, you know, if I took an arrow to the face, you would help.
I mean, it depends on, like, where in the face. Like, in the context, am I firing the arrow? Because
Fair.
if I'm firing the arrow, I don't know if I would help.
No, but you'd fireball the person who arrowed me, which that person wouldn't think it's kind, would they? That's what I mean. They would think, oh, that's really mean, getting fireballed in the face, but they deserved it. And what's safe is I know that you would fireball them in the face for doing that.
Going to do something else kind. Now,
What's that?
when we get out of this imaginary book hellscape,
Mm-hmm.
you know that big gold dragon with the monocle?
Yep.
His name's Reginald. He's very special to me. He lives in a cave just outside Waterdeep.
Oh.
Would you guys like to meet him for a special book club?
Look at Huxley.
Yes, very much. The knowledge of golden dragons is renowned. Of course, I would like to go and talk to a golden dragon, Tine. You don't have to ask me that question.
He's an ancient golden dragon as well.
Don't stop. I'll get overstimulated.
And loves fiction.
I wonder if the coffee shop does hot chocolate cups big enough for an ancient gold dragon.
I can make a cup big enough.
Can we all wear monocles too?
You so wish.
Oh,
I wish.
I mean, make them smaller than his.
I so wish.
Just so that there isn't any monocle envy.
No, his eyes are way bigger.
Yeah, guaranteed. Okay. Let's get out of here and you can all meet Fredgie. But first...
What's that mysterious whistling noise?
Yeah.
By the way, does anyone have any herbs or ointments or bandages? Because I'm still leaking. If not, I can.
How bad are you?
Not great.
Physically, how bad do you look?
It was 2 arrows. I think the heads of 2 of the arrows would still be kind of in and pointed sideways and then twisted slightly and then caught in the robes, and Blaze is just kind of covering them, and they kind of open up some of the lapel, some of the suit, and it's just a mess. It's like it's fine, I think.
God, you guys are being nice to me. I have to do this now. Ugh. Okay.
You don't have to. It's fine.
Okay, please take a 4th level cure wounds, which is 4d8 plus 2. I will let you roll that should you wish.
I've been rolling awfully, and you have been rolling fantastically. So
it's true. That was 4d8 plus 2. Let's have a look. I rolled pretty well again, actually. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 points of healing damage, please.
That is 35-ish% of my health back. No more than that.
I'm afraid I can't help you any further, Blaze. After my wife passed away, any healing magic I had, I chose to forget. I didn't see the point in healing myself anymore after.
I know. It's okay.
Well, now I feel like an asshole.
Why? You shouldn't feel... Why would you feel like an asshole? You shouldn't feel like an asshole.
Dropping your genuine trauma? Just like that?
No, it's my apology to Blaze because I no longer have healing magic. The fact that you do is fantastic, and it also shows another level of kindness that you have, that you would sacrifice some of your magical energy in order to heal someone else. It's great.
I know, I hate myself too.
Oh, we don't.
No, we definitely don't. Have another cinnamon one.
Where are you getting these from?
I don't know. The Prattler seems to keep restocking everything.
I know. I've had 12 of them. And it's still there. It's awesome.
Look, if you look over there, and I'll point to the end of the table, the chips, the Quibber and chips that Huxley brought in, they're fresh on the table as well. The smell is really nice, and I really have to watch my waistline. I've had about 5 cinnamon buns, but I really want some of the chips.
Oh, have a chip.
Mage hands.
You should. I'm gonna abstain. I actually like these better cold now.
Alaric, I'm sorry about your wife. I remember it happening, and I hope you don't feel like she wouldn't want you to heal anybody anymore, because you still have that ability.
It was more because obviously I don't adventure anymore. I didn't feel that I needed it anymore for myself more than for other people. I went through a phase where I gave up, as it were, and I just wanted to be with her. So I gave the spell up in order to, or the spells of healing that I had in order to do, hopefully speed that process along, as it were. As I said, it was a very dark period, but Blaze was my light, and so were you, Huxley. Actually, at that point, if it wasn't for the Blackstaff Library job that I got, and for the book club, I'd definitely be down a much different path than the one I'm on now, and I wouldn't know such fantastic people.
Huxley will, if you will allow, just reach out, and it's not something that he tends to do a lot, but he will just hold your hand, like he'll put his hand over yours, just for a moment, and say, we should never stop for the ones who have gone. We should keep going to honour them. And he'll just sort of nod and then just enjoy some quipper and chips and enjoy sitting.
Takes a sip of the hot chocolate with tears coming down his eyes, but wipes them away.
I'm going to come and jump on your chest, climb up, give you a hug, and then just slowly feed you a chip.
I forgot that you could shrink to that sort of size. Thank you.
I'm always pretty small.
While this very touching moment is going on, Tina is just going to wander down to where the whistling is going across with still a little an angry tick, but it's less so than it was.
And Grimnir is facing a corner and is pretending that he is not crying also.
You walk down and you come across an aisle, and down the left you can see sort of in the darkness sort of a small figure and then a really large, one would say gargantuan figure down this aisle. There we go. My brain.
The library of alleyways.
Yeah,
that seedy library no one goes to.
You don't go down that path, that's where you get mugged. You walk down and you can see as sort of the light reaches this area and that sort of haze, bright haze kind of dissipates. You can see Reginald and the Prattler, and they're stood, both of them, Reginald's like looking over the Prattler, and the Prattler's sort of sanding off something on one of the shelving units.
Tina will take a book just from a shelf, just kind of casually say, okay. Prattler?
He turns and smiles.
Catapult book at face.
Yeah. You've got surprise, so roll it. I guess I'd do it at disadvantage.
It's a dex save, apparently.
Yeah. That's a 4, and...
Yeah. That fails, and...
Straight in the face.
That's 17 book damage, please.
Yeah. And immediately, straight in the forehead, as he's like, oh, that was a good shot.
It was, wasn't it?
I might have to rearrange my nose.
Oh, well,
it's not bleeding, is it? Just check if it's bleeding or broken. I've got to think about my looks, you know.
You just hear from way in the distance, throw another one!
Gets another book off the shelf and just kind of hands.
All right. Just steady.
So, Prattler, you're a god. You're worshipped, right?
To an extent.
And how do people think of you? You know, how do they worship you? What about you do they worship?
Don't necessarily get worshipped as such. It's more like if you an author or a scholar or anything, if you spend the time and you ignite the passion of writing or studying, that enhances me. That intrigue, that beautiful knowledge. It's what powers and keeps the lights on.
Now, imagine that the only way you were remembered in the annals of history, present, past, future, is as the patron god of writer's block. That is the only way your name is invoked.
All right.
Can you imagine that for a moment?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty disappointing. Culture and everything would come to an entire stop in the material plane.
Wouldn't it? And you would feel pretty shitty, because no one would know what you were capable of, or who you really were, or what you could offer them.
No, it'd be pretty disappointing.
It would. And then imagine some upstart, bigger god came and made fun of you for this in the prospects of teaching you a lesson that you kind of already knew.
Right, okay, yeah. I'm seeing some, parallels going on at the moment. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah. And can you imagine how angry you would feel? How belittled, patronized?
Maybe. Or I'd be like super excited to be part of a project.
Well, you may find out, because when I get out of here, you little shit, I'm going to spread the word of the Prattler, the god of writer's block, the god that will take all of your inspiration from you by the sheer mention of their name.
Alright. Now, look, I'll admit, I'm scared of you, no problem. But you're playing on the fact or the hope that I've got ego, and, well, I don't really care. I mean, it'd be a shame, all that beautiful passion and, eloquence that comes from other writers everywhere. It'd be a real heartbreak.
Gods that I'm sure that can provide that much better than you can.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Oh my god, I hate you.
I'm sorry. I know. I know you're not getting the reaction that you'd like, or the satisfaction. But that's just not what I'm. At the end of the day, I'm a reader at heart. I'm here to experience, read, and take in the beautiful world that is the narrative.
Yet you take advantage of people that did not even destroy the book in the first place and make us play your mad, sick, twisted little game at our expense, where you just bring out our pain, you poke at us, and try and make us learn lessons that you don't even know what you're trying to teach.
No, not generally. That's usually when you show me what you're looking to learn. Now, you may slightly misunderstand. I like you guys. You're cool. And you're not here to be punished as such. You're just relatively unlucky enough to have ended up here, unlike other people who deserve it. But what you misunderstand is you don't have a choice. You're going to do what I ask you to do, and you can either choose to embrace and enjoy it with me, or you can suffer and have a horrible time. I may be kind, I may be stupid, I may be all fancy and lovely, but don't take my kindness as weakness.
I'm going to destroy you and everything you love.
Probably. Anyway, look, I changed your aisle. And he sort of steps back and you can see that it says like Tine, and then it's like scratched out something, and then added on the end, it says like of fire. So it says, instead of Tine or Princess Tine or the Ice Princess, it says Tine, and it's all been scratched out and it says of fire. Reginald, was his idea to do that.
Il Reginald? Or your Reginald?
Well, mine. I mean, I could attempt to bring yours here if you wanted to.
God, I'm sure he'd love it. But no, I don't want to bring someone else in here.
No. But what you've said has intrigued me. And maybe, it's been quite airy and fun and overall sort of not particularly nice subjects, but, you've managed to have the fun you've had. Maybe it's time we really do take it down a notch. Have a bit more rhyme, a little bit more upset. Maybe something a little bit more uncomfortable. You've really, your anger and your frustration at me has really, engaged a part of my brain. So, let's go back to your friends. I think we've got something to do.
If you emotionally traumatize them, because I've inspired you to do so. I'm going to end you one way or another. This is a vendetta now. And I will protect them with my last fiery breath.
I really love that. Keep that passion. And he walks sort of past you now.
Catapult book, I'm just doing it.
Okay. That is a 18.
Does not make it.
Yep.
14, 15.
He's going to use a legendary action. And at this point, he doesn't look back, but he catches the book, opens it up and goes, oh, that's a good read, and then just slots it back in and walks out.
He walks away. I'm going to kill that god.
Reggie's like, yeah, interesting guy. Like, 1 second he's really lovely, the next minute, you know, it's a bit of a walking contradiction.
A little bit. One moment he's all, oh yeah, kindness, weapon, woo. And next is going to be, I'm going to be emotionally torment your friends. What's with that?
Yeah. You know what he sounds like? A storyteller.
Pretty shit one.
Yeah, well, how many times, you know, I mean, obviously you've never made anything up in your memoirs at all, or embellished in the slightest.
No.
But how many times have you seen a writer put characters through absolute torture for the benefit of something interestingly narratively? You know, if a writer sits, you know, they may care about their characters, but not to the point where they're not disheartened to do horrible things for them.
It says that we're people, not characters. If a general marches an army of real people into a volcano for the sake of a good story, he's not a good general and he's not a good storyteller, he's just a monster.
Yes, your point is incredibly valid, Tine, but also, he's a god of storytelling. Why would he not think of you all as characters?
I'll think of a way around this. I don't know if you're really Reggie or if you are just the Prattler fucking with me, but...
Oh no, once I've been created in my own essence, I'm from your memory, not the Prattlers.
Do you want to come on an adventure with us, cast Wish, just at the last moment?
I could certainly try.
Okay, this way. I'll introduce you around properly.
Reggie sort of like follows you around. For the benefit of you four, the Prattler kind of comes and sort of saddles over and sits at the table and sort of picks up a cinnamon roll and just sort of looks at them. Just waiting on Tine.
You've got a little something red right there. No, it's right there.
Oh yeah,
there.
no, it was a great shot from Tine. It's not broken though, is it? Just I got to think of my image when he sort of presents his nose.
It's broken.
Let me have a look. Come here, and I'll put my hands. I'm going to touch you. I'm just going to have a little look. I know how to. I have healing magic, so I can heal you. I'm going to put my hands on his face, push his nose in between my two thumbs, and then I'm just going to crack it back into place.
Yeah. With your experienced adventure, I'm sure you've had to pop many in, shoulder back in and stuff like that. So you could make a medicine check, but it won't be difficult, as I imagine this sort of like rough medical treatment isn't.
Can I do it with disadvantage because I'm purposely trying to botch it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm trying to cause him pain.
Well, you can just purposely fail if you want to just screw it up.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, but yeah, I'll purposely fail it.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, all right, does it look better?
Very much so. Very dapper, yes.
Right, well, I trust you, Huxley. So
good.
That sounds good.
The feeling's mutual.
All right. What are we thinking?
I'm wondering where you've put Tine, because I believe she went to go find something to do with the noise.
Oh, no.
And then
She's just
you
there.
appear and she's... Oh, Tine, there we are.
Something happened to Tine.
No.
Like
You
Grimnir,
see her walking out of the corridor with a golden dragon following.
Ready for the next one.
Is that the real deal, Tine, or is that a figment of our imagination?
It's kind of a figment of the imagination, but I believe he's taken on a little bit of a life of his own. Or at least a very convincing life of his own.
Oh yeah, I've got nothing to do with the dragon's personality. It's all Tine.
Well, do come along, Reginald. I look forward to you joining us on our journey.
That's going to be interesting. Might not work, but we can always try.
Reginald works in every situation.
Aye.
Also,
What if-
you're the one telling the story, so you could just write him in.
No, I've decided after getting shouted at that I'm going to tell my story. I've been inspired. Have you not noticed that as we've been going, you've lost more and more control of the stories?
No?
No.
Also
fair enough.
noticed.
Oh, yes.
What is control?
Yeah. Now that is fascinating. In fact, if you go a little bit 2 miles down and 4 miles right, you can actually find an incredible selection on the philosophy of that. It's fascinating.
I was going to say more that I thought you'd learned how to write decently. You know, the first story was completely full of potholes, and
Yes, absolutely.
the second story was a bit slow paced to start off with, but the combat was brilliant, and then the final chapter was written by Huxley, so that was perfect.
Aye.
You're very welcome,
Maybe-
Prattler, for that, by the way.
Maybe co-authoring is the way forward. Maybe. So, I'd like to explore something a little bit more contained, a little bit more personal. Well, more personal. Maybe less personal?
Wait,
I don't know. I've been
do
really
you need
pulling
us
them.
for this? Or
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
like if it's yours, we don't want to intrude.
I feel that mine and Tine's was pretty personal as it was, so if you're looking to get
that's true.
more personal, I'm slightly concerned.
Right.
Yeah.
Reflexively looks at the people whose stories haven't been told, just kind of pulls them close.
Hi.
Sitting on my own, eating cinnamon bun.
Well, you know what? That supportive nature is going to really help you with this one. Seen as, I am horrible. I am manipulative. I am choosing horrible parts of your stories.
Don't put yourself down like that. There's goodness in everyone. You just need to dig deeper to find it.
And mine was really only horrible because it was confusing, so.
Have you thought about talking to Grimnir's therapist? I've heard very good things. You could have a conversation, get some of the
Yes.
anger out in a meaningful way.
I can
But
therapize you.
I've read their books. Fantastic. The self-help one, really brilliant. And writing down your feelings.
But
that's
have you
quite an important one.
it's one thing to read it, but are you hearing it? Are you living it? That's what we talk a lot about is having the ideal and then doing instead of just knowing, so things to think about. And Grimnir starts to walk towards where he thinks an exit might be.
No, well, yeah, no, very valid points, but a big realization that Tine helped me come to is sometimes I'm okay with being the villain in the story. And, well, oh well. And
It's really good for you. That's really
the
good to know.
tables
No.
and chairs begin to slowly spin.
He really
Faster.
needs to talk to my therapist.
Oh my god, yeah, he's so fucked up.
It's like a dark mirror of what it's not. It's this very unhealthy mindset.
Is there a god of therapy he can speak to?
Probably there's a god for everything in D&D.
Hello?
So you are spinning once again, and the light hue of the library begins to deepen, and it deepens into this sort of really dark red. You can see sort of red sort of flashes of flame and burning begins to sort of join this whirlwind. The heat begins to rise as you all get very hot very quickly. Blaze, very comfortable. Tine, probably quite comfortable still as well, as you spin. But that comfort immediately leaves when you arrive. And you are in this 20 by 20 foot square. Blackness around you completely, but flames are sort of burning underneath this sort of square platform that you're on. You're immediately aware of where you are, Blaze.
I think Blaze will start freaking out.
Whoa.
You look to the left, sort of in front of you, and you can see there is this huge sort of pane in front of you. And looking outwards, you can see a huge cavern in... it's almost like blown up to be like you can see in the cavern there is a rock or a pebble, but the pebble is, maybe 20 by 20 foot wide, but it's a pebble. Everything's almost magnified, and you're not entirely sure if it's really, really big or you guys are really, really small. You look it out, and can everybody give me a perception check to see what you pick out? Blaze with advantage, because you've seen this place before. Alaric with advantage, because you've seen this place before.
I haven't, but I do have 23.
19.
25.
15.
So everybody above probably like 16 can see. Well, I can tell everybody because overall group, you can all see pretty much everything with those rolls. You can see into a cavern with mountains of gold. Armor, weapons, books, tapestries, gems, just everything of value just piled up in this huge hoard.
I do have a question. Is Reggie still here?
Reggie?
Mm-hmm.
Tina, you feel like a sliver in your coat and a bit of movement, and you find basically like a ferret-sized Reggie.
Oh.
Reggie, you're adorable.
I was going to say gold. I was going to say golden Mushu.
Yes. Pretty much, exactly like that, and with an incredibly high-pitched voice that I cannot replicate. You just sort of see like, "Hello, my child, I'm here. Can I go back in there? That was quite delightful."
Oh, of course you can. At least you're here for moral support.
I'm still dangerous, as he muffles away.
Oh. The tiny monocle is getting me. I don't know.
Just like a tiny little bit.
Blaze. Sorry, Huxley.
No, I was just going to ask the DM, is it still very, very, very hot?
Oh, it is very hot.
Oh, boy.
In fact, everybody, apart from Blaze and Tine, so sorry, just Huxley, Grimnir, and Alaric, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I have a question. Do I get a bonus for still wearing my booty shorts from Tine?
No.
I have a question. Has it been less than an hour since I was in draconic form?
Yeah, it will have been.
Okay, cool. I am still resistant. That's good.
Yes. Yeah, I assumed you still were.
I rolled a 9.
I rolled a 9 too.
I rolled an 18. So I took your scores and pushed them together, and that's my score.
Yeah. Grimnir, you're not suffering so bad. But Huxley and Alaric, I need you both to take a level of exhaustion.
Nice.
How do you do that on D&D Beyond?
It is
It's a condition.
in conditions.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Got it.
Let's go. Okay, you win. We're out. Game's over.
It's very hot in here. Blaze, is that where I think it is?
No, it's not. It's not. It's very good. We're all fine. Everyone's okay. It's fine. It's fine. There's a door somewhere, right? There's a door. There's a window. We can open the window.
What's the view from the lamp?
What? No.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Grimnir spent a lot of time staring at the view from the lamp. And rolled well on my perception. Is it indeed the view from the lamp?
So you wouldn't have seen this before because the view from where Blaze's lantern usually is just where they have the lamp at that time. But as far as you can tell, the lamp is almost like it's on one slide slightly. And it almost looks like it's been dumped in this hoard.
Tine is going to... Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Going to create a bonfire with a cantrip and then use a sorcery point to change it to cold so that the people who are suffering can gather near the cool point.
That's lovely.
Very good, yes. With that, I don't think you won't have to keep rolling.
Okay.
Put it out, put it back in.
Do I look younger again, or am I still old Alaric?
No, this is before you. This is before when you were.
You're still the same. You're still the same old.
Okay.
But yeah, we're done. Prattler. We get it. Lesson learned. Congratulations. You're very mean. Great story. Can we go now?
Where are we? What's happening?
There's a very small space with very few people.
I think we're on the elemental plane of fire.
No, this is my lantern. That's a treasure hoard. There's a dragon out there, and then people come in, they die.
Oh.
This is the dragon.
This is my lantern. Yep. This is the lantern.
This is where I found, probably years from now, this is where I found Blaze.
Yeah, a few years, 2010.
You never did say exactly how long you were here for before I found you.
Just a few days.
Oh, I know that's a lie.
A few weeks. A few years. But we get it. Can we go now?
Are you part of the horde?
Nope. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I wasn't very clever, and I made bad choices, and then I was the horde. And then Alaric found me, so that's good ending. It's good ending. But the bit in between, not good ending. Or middle. It's a really boring story. Why would you want to tell it? He doesn't really want to tell it. Blaze is just rattling off, and you can kind of see them hyperventilating slowly.
Tine will start just to pull the Blaze a little bit closer and just kind of keep eyes out for anything.
Well, nothing bad, just lots of wars that are very small. You can't really go for a walk or leave. You can't.
Oh no, Blaze.
Can we not?
Nope. That was my mistake. That was my bad. You know that thing you have to do, Alaric?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you okay for me to tell everybody?
No, they need to know. I mean, they can know.
I think they need to know. Whenever we, rest for the evening, Blaze is forced to go back into the lantern. And whenever in order for Blaze to get out the next day, somebody has to be on the outside to open it, and that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years for them.
I may have a solution. I don't know if it will work.
Can you create doors in walls?
I can create doors in space and time.
Let's go.
I can do walls, but not space and time.
Let's leave right now. Huxley, do it, please.
I'm going to attempt... We can see outside the lamp, right? We can see through a window outside. I'm going to attempt to cast Scatter on all of us to put us outside the lamp.
Now, does Scatter work for two different planes of existence?
Let's see what the
or
word
from a
says.
demi-plane to another, or
don't even know
what would
this.
be in this term a material plane?
I can teleport as well, but it never worked.
An unoccupied space you can see within 120 foot of you. So I guess whether it just has to be on the ground or floor. But whether the other plane is 120 foot away.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah, it wouldn't be, would it? Well, would it be? Now that this is like
it's like ethereal plane. Technically, it's the same place. It's just a different plane.
Feels like a DM read as written / interpreted kind of situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Goggle to see.
Yeah, let's see Goggle.
You Scatter to another.
Oh, this would be a great one for Chris. They would like eat this question up.
Existent. It's the specifying that you can
Rules,
see it.
Yeah, like rules lawyering. If hard rules lawyering, I could see an argument of like, well, I can see it, and usually, it's not specific enough to say that it has to be on the same plane of existence. And there is precedent in other spells that say it has to be on the same plane of existence, but also that's complicated.
But the difference is this is also epic. So
right. Which can go in both directions. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
and the Prattler is a fucking railroady DM. Like, right? It's his plane. It's his story. He'll be like, I had been, kind of letting you guys just kind of do whatever and break my stories, but like, I don't think so this time. I think this time I'm just gonna go ahead and clamp down on the rules of reality and Arcanum, and just be you guys will be stuck there.
There's nothing specific set in stone, but I know that plane shift is a spell for a reason, so I don't know. I could certainly try.
I know.
No, you know what? I like it. I think it's you know what? We'll do a mixture of both. So I'd like you to make an Arcana check to basically manage such a complex outcome to this spell. So obviously normally it's you've learned the spell, so it's very straightforward, but what you're doing is something that is potentially out of what would be seen as the normal pathway of the magic.
28?
Well, you shall, yeah. Okay, now, for you four, this is relatively smooth. Huxley's magic is incredibly eloquent and beautiful in this moment as he just manages to weave this spell to perfection.
Could I say something to Huxley before the magic goes off?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as Huxley's casting, Huxley, don't. You'll piss her off.
It's very hot.
I know, but please,
You'll begin to smell the aroma of books, Blaze, and then we'll be...
No, okay. But I don't think it's good. We should just stay here and wait. A lark will come in.
In fact, you have to be a willing creature, so if you're not willing, you'll stay in the lamp.
No, I don't want to stay in the lamp.
Her?
Yeah, her, yeah.
You could always... Yes, this is a good question. This is something that I've not heard either.
Just the person I made the deal with. This lantern was supposed to help me go between planes, and it does. But there's a side trick. Don't make deals with Fae.
Oh, they're very tricksy. I once stole a handbag from a hag and I ended up on the material plane.
I mean, I am Fae. You can make deals with me, but but she doesn't like it when I leave the lantern. That's why I can't leave by myself. And if we leave now, that might cause problems for me. But this isn't real, so it's fine, right?
Not all Fae are that bad. But obviously in this instance they are. I made a deal with a Fae and ended up with a child.
I made a deal with a Fae and gained the sentience of an entire pig species.
And
Princess
I made a deal with Fae and got trapped in a lantern for a long time. Thousands of years.
I'm always like really tight-fitting boots once, and that was also pretty bad. I mean, not as bad.
Would it anger her if you were to leave the lamp without exiting through the door?
I tried along. I can teleport too, and it never worked for me. I'm just worried that something will go wrong.
Well, if Huxley was to teleport us all, other than yourself, outside.
No, I don't want to be on my own.
Here. No, we'd instantly then open the door for you, so you can get out.
Yeah, but what if there is no door?
I can stay with you.
I'll just dimension door back in, get you, and then we'll come back out again.
I'll stay with you for the interim. I won't leave you here alone.
That's the same.
Yeah, then we also...
There is also the question of, is the dragon out there?
I don't care about... Yeah, probably. It's before your dad killed... I'm joking!
Grimnir scoops up the bonfire. I assume cinematically taking damage, or does take damage. It's up to you. But then is wafting it toward Huxley and be like, all right, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. And it's just trying to get more feeling of cold while holding an actual pile of on ice fire logs.
Yeah, I need to be with that for that to keep functioning.
Okay, Huxley, you think you can do it?
I mean, I'm about 75% of the way through casting it, so it's either now or never.
Okay,
I can cancel it, then it's gone.
Do we all need to hold hands?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't, but yes.
For me.
My
spell's different. We all have to hold hands.
Just hold a hand up for Tine.
Say one nice thing about each other.
Yes.
Place a hand on Blaze's shoulder.
I place one hand on the back of your leg because that's all I can reach.
Parchment will kind of begin floating in the air, then searing at the edges because it's way too hot for parchment right now. And you will all smell the smell of musty old books as we begin to get the heck out of Dodge.
And you appear in the cavern. Would you Huxley have just sort of aimed at the middle of the cavern just so you could nail the landing?
Whatever I could see that was ground.
Yeah. So there's a circular area in the middle, and then all of the horde is stacked up on the sides. And you appear there, all five of you.
Does everyone still have their limbs? I need to ask that question. I should have made you sign a contract before I did that. I'm sorry that I did not.
You signed my book, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so, yes. Does Grimnir still have his fantastic legs?
Grimnir pats down, looks underneath arms, looks down pants. We're all good.
Oh, good.
A little singed off in places, but yeah.
It's nice to be out of the lantern, sorry, but I'm not particularly thrilled to be here again, even if it is however many years it is before I come here.
As if you were summoning the next part of the story. You hear rumbling. And the coins and armor begin to almost shift, and you can hear the trickling, and the noises of all the pieces of metal all clanking together as they sort of land and sort of pitter-patter across the cavern floor. You can see sections, it almost looks like waves over the ocean as it all begins to move slightly. Blaze, in your head, you don't belong here. This is not your prison. I'm coming to get you.
Sorry.
And you notice coming sort of out of the lantern that you all glanced that is on the floor, sort of half cocked in a pile of gold. 1, 2, 3 of these fiery creatures all stand there, staring at Blaze.
Step in front.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, samesies.
You will not take my friend.
I don't want you to get hurt. I'll go back.
No, Blaze, you won't go back. You're going to
And
stay
good
here,
news.
and we're going to look after you.
And good news. We're not the ones who are going to get hurt.
I am.
No, it's... I meant... And he, looks at Alaric and he's like, wait, was that not clear? I meant...
Everybody roll initiative.
Can I tap my side?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have Blaze's lantern on my side?
No, it is in the hold.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit different now.
And I just lean down and whisper to Blaze, you saw what I did to those guards earlier in my story?
Mm-hmm.
I can do that with cold. Don't tell anyone.
Hey,
Did you see what I did to those guards?
20.
I can do that again with my sword in the same way.
There's no forks around, so I can't do the same thing again. I might have to use something slightly larger.
Grimnir hands you the fork that he had been keeping in his teeth and definitely stole if it has not incorporealized since swapping places.
I will slot it in my beard ready for later.
25 to 20.
23.
22.
Are you kidding? I finally rolled good on initiative and everyone's like, but we rolled better on initiative. I got a 21.
Yeah. I mean, that's fantastic for you guys as far as initiative goes, to be fair. 20 to 15.
15.
15 for Tine. And then 5 to 10. Or 10 to 15, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
8. Which is
Alaric.
thematically makes sense.
Yeah. And thematically makes sense for Alaric to be first. As you step in front of Blaze protectively, it is now your turn.
Do these creatures look like they are going to be aggressive towards us? This is a very silly question, but...
I'll give you an insight check, but I would say for this, because it's active in the combat, you'd have to use a bonus action to do that insight check. You'd have to burn some of your time.
Yeah, that's fine. I will do that. This is a 15.
A 15. As far as you can tell, they are all three aiming at Blaze. They are looking at Blaze.
Stepping in front of Blaze, I will raise my hand out as if I'm blocking. I have lost much in my life. My wife, my 2 children do not speak to me. Blaze has been with me for the past 20 years. Although they are probably considerably older than I am, I still see them as one of my children. You will not take them from me. You'll have to go through me first. And uncharacteristically for Old Man Alaric, I will charge forward, pull my cane up, grab hold of the handle and pull a blade out of the cane. And as I get in close range with one of these creatures, I'll disappear and teleport behind them and slash down at them.
Nice.
That is a 28 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Nobody's within range, so there's no sneak attack. So that will be 8 points of psychic damage.
Psychic damage. As you slice in, it like cackles and makes almost like a clicking sound as it screeches, and these weird noises and cacophony echoes through the cavern. You notice the horde almost shifts when the sound sort of echoes out.
I will then, as I sort of land on the floor from the slash, I will then instantly teleport to the one on the left side, and then I'll thrust towards that with the sword as well. And I realised I rolled with the wrong weapon before. That is a 31 to hit.
Oh, absolutely.
That is going to be 11 points of piercing damage. The first one should have been piercing damage as well. And
your weapon is magical, isn't it? It's a plus.
Yes, plus 2 short sword.
Yeah.
And because I'm using distance strike, so because I've attacked 2 different targets, I will then teleport to the one on the right, 10 feet, and I will slash down in front, and I'll try and slash up towards its head. I want to purposely make sure that I teleport in front, so I'm still blocking their advance towards Blaze.
Yeah.
That is a 30 to hit.
Yes.
And that will be 13 points of magical piercing damage.
Nice. Consistent throughout the 3 of them, as you almost, it's like I'm almost picturing like a blink, like a blip, like bang, smash, bang, smash, bang, smash. And you appear in front. Do you have quite like a traditional sort of like short sword stance? Is it?
Yeah, it's very much a like fencing, almost like a fencing position. It's very different to how young Alaric fought before with his super anime style stuff.
Yeah.
But you do notice that every time he lands, he does buckle slightly on his knee, and he does. And once I finished attacking, you'll see that I am breathing quite heavily, sweat pouring down, almost down on one knee.
Very good. Can you roll me after your 3 attacks? A D20 minus 3, please.
That's a 15 on the dice, so 12.
Okay, very good. Huxley, you're up. Grimnir, you're on deck.
Right, so I'm stood in front of Blaze currently. Blaze will see me ascend into the air, but in my place, I'm going to be leaving Huxley's hand, or Bigsby's hand, as we're going to call it, this large Huxley-coloured claw in my place, kind of protecting Blaze, in between Blaze and the creatures. Huxley will fly to behind the creatures if there's enough room within 60 foot.
Yeah, you'd be like sort of on top of the horde a little bit, but you'd be still like behind them. You'd struggle to land right behind them, but you'd be able to sort of hover behind them without too much issue.
Amazing. And I will attack with Bigby's hand.
Very nice.
Whichever the nearest to Blaze is. Maybe that isn't in combat with Alaric. This is
so that would be one of the 2 on the right.
It's plus 10, 13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
Cool. Yeah, it will be just sort of right in front of one of these things' faces, if they have them. And as a bonus action, I'm going to move Stampy as ever to be like around their feet if I need him later.
Very good. Grimnir.
Grimnir looks at these kind of assembled individuals, and the 4, is that right?
There's 3 of them.
Oh, 3. And looks at all of them and unshoulders his giant sword and kind of points it at them and says, "Good news. I've decided that I can kill you all. It's a pretty big day for me. And so I just thought you should know. And then he like sets his eyes and furrows his brow and enters into probably the relatively calmest, but also most horrifying rage of a barbarian you've ever seen as a bonus action. And then he runs up to at least the first one or first two and is going to start doing many attacks against them. All recklessly, so all at advantage. So many dice. Ooh, sounds so nice. Not great. A 17 to hit for the first one.
17 just misses.
Damn it. I rolled really well on my damage, unfortunately. So he's going to take a second attack against it.
Yep.
And again, just 27 to hit.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Now we're swinging.
That they now take. Oh, I think I forgot to add my damage. They take 12 points of slashing damage and 2 points of radiant damage. Additionally, however, I'm going to go ahead and spend another one of my superiority dice, and this one that I hit is going to need to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yep. That is an 8.
That is a failure. It now has disadvantage on attacking anyone but me. And,
fantastic, great move. Yeah.
And again, you all are seeing Grimnir just like immediately kick into action and just is so overwhelming on the battlefield that is like literally swinging these people around and like, you know, like tripping their feet up and making them face him and no one else. And he is actually going to now use his action surge and keep doing more of that.
Fantastic, yeah.
And is actually going to, and again, just with his incredible burst of speed, is going to go over to the next one, risking an attack of opportunity should they so use it.
They do not use it.
But is going to go up to the next person and also recklessly attack it. That is a 21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
16 points of slashing damage, and this is all magical damage.
Is this this is a different one, not the same one. 16.
Ooh. I also forgot.
Is that including your radiant?
No, it's not, because it only works once.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
But I am going to spend another one of my superiority dice, and I would like it to make a wisdom saving throw as it takes an additional 3 points of damage.
That is an 8 again.
That is a fail. It also has disadvantage to attack anyone who is not me. He is going to move to the third one and do another attack against it with at advantage to do roughly the same.
An amazing imagery of just Grimnir just...
That is a natural 20.
Fantastic. I'm almost picturing Alaric and Grimnir almost like passing by each other in some sort of like semblance. Yep. Like with the way how quickly you both gone at every single one of them. It's almost like I almost picture you both like rolling on each other's backs and flipping sides and stuff like that as you've moved across to do this attack.
Almost buckles when Grimnir rolls over Alaric's back and says, "Oh, me back!" Yep.
Boy, I am really glad that my first natural 20 of the campaign happens in this moment where Grimnir's like, I guess I'll go all out. I will shed my weighted Super Saiyan armor to do this because a lot of fun things happen when Grimnir scores a natural 20 on an attack. First of all, I am so infused with divine righteous fury that he radiates even more necrotic energy than before and actually regains 10 temporary hit points because of this. Because he crit and he has he is an expert at using his greatsword. This creature also takes an additional. Let me make sure I'm saying this the right way. It takes an additional 10 points of necrotic damage, and it also has disadvantage on all attack rolls, including against on all attack rolls. So I won't spend my extra dice
Okay, so
on
they've all
goading
got
attack.
disadvantage.
Also, all three of these creatures, because I hit them successfully on an attack. Oh no, excuse me. The first, the one of them, the first one. Also, I forgot. Its movement speed is reduced by 10 because I also slashed it so hard. And finally, it takes. Ooh. Oh, I rolled very well. 23 points of slashing damage on the last one.
Fantastic. Can I ask? I totally forgot. Is your weapon magical?
It is, yes.
Fantastic.
And it is in fact a great sword of life stealing, hence why I was able to get extra temporary hit points. And so again, you just see all of this happening. Grimnir just like swoops past all three of them and just like batters at their knees and ankles, and like so hard that again, they like have to forcibly turn around and look at him. And he just looks back at this final one and is staring fucking absolute unbridled fury and violence at all three of them. And again says, like I said, we're not the ones who are going to get hurt. And that's the end of my turn.
So I totally forgot, but Huxley, could you roll me an D20 -1? And Grimnir, could you roll me a D20 minus
It was
1,
gonna
2,
be a
3,
20.
4.
7.
7,
3.
4. The horde around you begins to vibrate, and Alaric, especially because of your passive, plus your experience in this cavern, you notice a couple of scales begin to move inside of the horde.
Talking is a free action. We've got company.
It is now one of these fire creatures. At this point, they're all just gonna. This one's just gonna like wail into Grimnir for now.
At disadvantage. Well, at regular attack.
Yeah, it's a regular attack. So that is a 22 to hit.
Hits.
That is a 23 to hit.
Also hits.
And a 21 to hit.
Also hits.
All
Are you
on
within
straight
5
rolls.
feet of me, and would +5 make any difference to any of these?
I don't think you are within
I think
5
no
foot
to
of
both.
Wanted to check, just covering the bases.
Okay, so you take 19 points of force damage. And then 7 points of fire damage. As it just slices across, and you notice that its hands are all like the entire of its, what would be its arms as such, are like barbed. As they just like slam into you. You do your best to sort of put up your great short sword and use it sort of as a shield to batter them off, but you find it's not necessarily the attack itself that's hurting, it's the sort of impact itself.
Right, this is what I want.
I didn't, yeah. So yeah, that was force damage and then fire damage. That is its turn. Oh, and then, yeah. Tine, what you gonna do?
I feel like a lot has happened. Can you repaint this image?
So, in front of you, do you want to decide where you are? Are you stood next to Blaze, or are you sort of behind Blaze currently?
Was slightly in front of, but kind of more beside Blaze.
Okay, so Alaric and Grimnir have pushed forwards towards him. They're only about 20 foot away. Grimnir is on the far left in front of one, and Alaric is on the far right in front of one. There's one in the middle on its own, but it seems to be more interested currently in Grimnir than Blaze anymore. And you were also made aware of some movement that was going on around you
Okay.
from the horde of coinage and other things.
Fun. Okay, I would like to do two things. The first is I would like to summon a draconic spirit.
Very cool.
And it's going to be let me look at the things. It is going to be a chromatic cold dragon. And it kind of comes into existence, like almost just snaking out and having like a little pose behind, almost in like a tattoo kind of pose. I'm going to tell it to take up a defensive stance around Blaze. It takes its action directly after me in initiative, but it's going to hold its action for anything that comes near them. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shout in Draconic, "We're in the middle of something, can you not?"
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage, please.
Whoa, I can certainly do that.
Could Huxley help, given that Huxley speaks Draconic? And yes,
what
very
would you
good idea. Please remain seated at all times. There is a predicament going on. Nothing to worry about. Just go back to sleep, my love.
Still at disadvantage. You didn't say any of the key words that the dragon was looking for.
It has key words.
I have something else I can say if this doesn't work out. Okay, I got a 19 and an 18 on the dice. So the 18 becomes a 28.
Oh.
He's very persuasive.
Yes. Okay. You gain, this means nothing to you right now, but you gain a slumber marker back.
I'll write that down, having no idea what it means. Yeah, and that's my turn. The draconic spirit is kind of coiled around Blaze and ready for anything that might come their way.
It is now Reginald's turn. Reginald is going to sort of skitter up and basically like sort of go on the top of your head as you see it pull itself back. And if you zoomed in, it would look like an epic ancient dragon preparing to fire breath its way all over this creature. But it's more like a little coming from little Reginald, but it still has some fair effect as it is going to use the second level Dragon's Breath spell. So that's the version it's got at this side. So they need to make dexterity saving throws. Fail.
Go on, Chibi Reggie.
Fail. All three fail. Although I will actually need a saving throw from Alaric and Grimnir.
A dex save?
Yes, please.
Would you say I can see this effect?
I mean, you're facing the wrong way.
Fair.
16.
16? And what was 8? I'm sorry, you both fail as well. Luckily, it's not a huge amount of damage. So you guys take 9 points of fire damage each, but also all of the creatures take 9 points of damage.
I am going to use my reaction to cast Absorb Elements, and I will take half that. I don't know why that rolled when I clicked on it, but yeah, I'll take half that.
Nice.
and I'll just over the top of my head just say, "Friendly fire! Friendly fire!"
Yeah, you see in Reggie's eyes like, oops, as he coughs out a little bit what was left of the spell, and then is going to disengage as such and disappear back down into Tine's robes. Blaze.
Still wearing an evening dress, and I'm just imagining it just going in the middle of the corset.
Blaze, you are up.
So, Blaze, I'm trying to make sure that I embody Blaze properly in a way that means I can still play, because this would probably be fairly in keeping with the trauma themes. Blaze gets a lot dimmer and kind of shrinks into a ball. You know, you can see them kneeling down, hugging their legs and just rocking next to the I think it was a fire spirit that you left next to them. And then Huxley's hand. Huxley's hand. So just behind those two things, you can see Blaze, can see them kind of rocking in a really small ball. But as that happens, and as that dimness starts to kind of gather around them, it almost coalesces into like a ballooning shadow above them. And you watch as all that fire starts to coalesce along their back, making it look almost like a lion's mane. And then it all starts to rush upwards, ballooning out into this humanoid type figure. And technically this would be a fire elemental I'm summoning, but for thematics it looks like each of you. So it's got part of Alaric's body, a part of like Huxley's legs, part of like Tine's arms, and then one half of Grimnir's face. And you can just hear Blaze kind of going, "Please protect me, please protect me." And it's the four of you in this elemental form that's just surges forward at these creatures in front of them and is going to attempt to grapple two of them.
Very good. That is a roll-off from each other, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That is a 15 for one of them and a natural 1 for the other.
Okay. I'll just roll my strength and then add whatever I need to add. So it's an 18 and a 12. So 18 against the first one and 12 against the second one.
Even without adding anything on, you've got them both.
It grapples them both. And as it's in their space, they take 1d10 fire damage. If they're immune, they are resistant instead because of me being...
If they are resistant, does that mean they just take full damage?
Yes.
Very good. Roll that damage. Hint, hint, hint.
That's 2.
2? I mean, at least it's not halved.
Well, if it was halved, it would go back up to 2 because I treat ones as 2, so... And I don't have a bonus action. Well, that was a feature, actually. That doesn't use a spell slot. So as my bonus action, the rest of the flame kind of floods back through Blaze's body and then starts to coalesce into a sword of fire on their arm as they kind of like start just swiping at the air in front of them.
That's awesome. It is now the one, in fact, the one that has already attacked, so it's the last 2 and they're both grappled currently. So, and they have disadvantage to attack you. So they're going to attempt to attack you, but
who are they attacking?
The creature, sorry, that's got them grappled. So, but they still have disadvantage because of Grimnir. So that is a...
Its AC is 13.
Okay, 12, so it just misses. And okay. That's an 11. 12 and 11. So both of them, I guess I'll just drop all 3 of them in there. A 3.
The 2 that I have grappled, when they end their turn, they also take an extra 1d10 fire damage.
Fantastic. It's another miss. Okay, that's 1 hit with a 19. But It is 12 points of force damage onto it. Miss. Caught that disadvantage kill. Then nicely done, Nathan. They just, all 6 of the attacks that they're trying to just slam onto this creature just won't land at all.
This horrific amalgamation of you four.
Can you roll me a d20, sorry?
Grimnir kind of wants to kill this horrible thing.
Is that me you want me to roll?
Yes, please. Minus 1.
16.
16. Alaric.
Okay, so seeing the amalgamation elemental is what I'm going to call it now. Seeing as that is grappled to the creatures, currently buckled down almost on one knee, having allowed Grimnir to roll over me and do his absolutely mental attack that he just did, I'm going to spin the rapier cane blade that I have and stow it. I'm then going to sort of bow my head a little bit and think to myself, I've not done this for a while. Hopefully this works. And I seemingly plunge my hand into my other hand and it disappears, almost as if it's been eaten up. But you can see that there's this strange energy around my hand. And as I pull out, instead of it being the colour that young Alaric has, this grey, almost white, long shafted weapon comes out of my hand, and as I fling it down, it's a large scythe, and I begin spinning it around, and as I kind of do that with it, this wind erupts around me, and I'll cast Zephyr Strike as my bonus action.
Nice.
Have spells.
I have spells! Yay! Then what I'm going to do is this creature that's in front of me, the one that's not grappled, I'm going to use the Zephyr Strike effect to give me advantage on this attack roll against it. I'm going to spin the scythe round, teleport 10 feet in the air, and sort of roll with the scythe, sort of like creating a circle motion, and slash down on it. This is going to be a lot. This is with advantage, so that was 18 on the first dice. Let me just roll the second one. So 18 to hit.
And 18 just hits.
Okay, so this is going to be sneak attack, absorb elements damage, plus the Zephyr Strike damage.
Fantastic.
So that is 17 points of psychic damage. Plus, bear with me un elemento. Plus 6 points of force damage. And the last little crackle of lightning for 3 points of lightning damage against this creature. And as I land on the floor, I stumble backwards, but instantly teleport 10 feet towards one of the ones that are being grappled, and I'll attack into that. Because it's grappled, I believe I have advantage on the attack.
Yes, you do.
With the same weapon. And that's going to be a 28 to hit.
That really hits.
It's going to be 6 points of psychic damage. That was a low roll. Again, because I've attacked 2 targets, I'll go for the third one. Again, teleporting, but this time sliding along on the floor, almost buckling under the pressure on my knee as I do so. Well, one of them was an actual 1, but luckily it was a 22 in total. And I accidentally double-clicked the dice and got a natural 20, which is annoying. And then I do 10 points of psychic damage on that one. And because I've used Zephyr Strike, my movement speed is increased by 30 feet and I don't provoke attacks of opportunity. So as I do that final strike, I will then run and roll in front of Blaze and Tine, and as the scythe begins to dissipate, I'll just sort of be there in a stance prepared for if these creatures come towards us.
Fantastic turn once again. The speed that you can create through your teleportation is just sort of almost unbeatable, and you can see these creatures have no chance. They barely, like, by the time they've reacted to your attack, you already moved on and disappeared.
Anybody can see, looking at Alaric, that he is obviously he has a level of exhaustion as well, which shows. But he's wincing in a lot of pain at the moment, and he's covered in sweat.
Huxley.
Yes. Can I see roughly how large the shape is underneath all of those gold pieces, please? Would it be considered a huge, a large, a gigantic?
Speaking monstrous? Of, we will find out. Alaric, please could you roll me 3 d20s minus... one d20 minus 3.
Oof. That would be a 5.
Okay. Now, you could make me a perception check, but you'd have to study because it begins moving again, giving you the opportunity to look. It sounds like it was slightly appeased by whatever Tine shouted. Oh no, you knew because you speak Draconic. Seemed slightly appeased at first from what Tine said, but the noise has disturbed whatever it is again as it begins to move around once again.
It's only an 11 on the check for perception.
You're really struggling to pick up where in this pile it actually is to sort of start building up the size. What it could be.
Okay, fine. I will bonus action against the fire creature that is not grappled. I will bonus action Grasping Hand, which attempts to grapple a huge or smaller creature. So that's going to be a contested roll.
I rolled only a 14.
I'm going to add 8 to this. That was a natural 20 plus 8, 28.
Oh, yeah. Clomp.
This thing is grappled, cannot move. The hand has it. Mm-hmm. Then with my
all 3 of them are grappled.
Yay! Then with my action, Stampy, come over here. I'll get Stampy across to cantrip. Let's see. This one's taken some damage already, hasn't it? But you know what?
Yes.
Stampy's going to cast Ray of Frost at this guy, because why the heck not?
Do it.
Stampy, so far this campaign has not rolled well. And that is still true. That was a natural 1 for 11.
Was that at advantage, though?
No, it wasn't. But it's not a melee attack. Does that make a difference?
This is just against grapple,
I think it's only if they're prone that the range
is a disadvantage, but I thought they had...
I just remembered grapple doesn't do advantage.
No, restraint is advantage. Grapple just makes the movement 0, so they can't get to Blaze.
Yeah, restraint is different.
I just thought, Grimnir, you did something with an attack to give them disadvantage anyway. So yeah, Stampy, I'm going to put you away if you don't buck up your ideas. You're making me look bad. That will end my turn. I'll just keep hovering where I am. Do I need to roll a d20, Mike?
Yes, please.
Where?
-1. No, -2 because you attempted to attack twice.
15.
Okay.
Beware the sneaky DM.
Grimnir is unaware of any ramifications of the violence that he is about to do. He may or may not be about to do upon any sort of sleeping individuals. And so he is just going to go up to, I think he's still on one, and I think it's the one that's maybe one of the ones that's restrained.
All 3 of them are restrained.
Oh, they are restrained. Okay, got it. I thought
there's 2 of them in a headlock with Blaze's creature, and then Huxley's got one grappled with a grasping hand.
Cool. So he is going to just keep wailing on this creature just over and over. He's not going to do it recklessly because he has advantage already. And I also, 1 sec, let me just double check. I think at the end of my turn, they're able to attack everyone freely again. So first attack with the radiant damage, that's a 26 to hit.
Oh, yes.
Which is 13 points of slashing damage and another 6 points of... No, excuse me, another... Sorry. Another 10 points of radiant damage. I had been doing the math wrong. It's also speed is reduced in case that matters. And it's going to do a second attack. 17, which I think misses.
That just misses, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So just swam, and that is the end of his turn.
Big hit. Can you make me a D20 roll -2, please?
2
For a 0?
No, it was a 4
for
a 2.
Okay. Your question, Huxley, that you had gets answered as the crinkling and clashing of armor and coins begins to crash all over the floor as this huge creature, silvery blue, with this sort of crystalline skin, begins to slowly lift itself out. The recognition in Blaze and Alaric is not lost on anybody as you both look at the sapphire dragon of old as it lifts up, it's curling its lips as it sort of stares at you all with this anger and fury of being disturbed too much. Can everybody make me a Constitution saving throw?
It's natural 20 for 28.
Very good.
Natural 20 for a 28.
Woo!
So the question is, this wouldn't be like a fear effect type thing. I know that's not normally Constitution. Okay.
I will describe it fully. It's a it's debilitating breath as it completes this roar. It releases this huge
It's not a spell, is it?
of thunder upon you all.
Breath weapon, I reckon.
It's not a spell, is it?
No.
Just checking.
14.
That's a 5.
18.
What's the damage type again?
Thunder. That
Exclusively
is for
elemental
everybody.
damage for the non-bear
Can you
totem
remind
barbarian.
me of your rolls, please? Huxley first.
18.
Fail, 41 points of thunder damage. Alaric.
Alaric did 14.
14, fail, 41 points of thunder damage. Blaze.
5.
5, 41 points of thunder damage. Grimnir was a 28.
Yep.
Was it 41 points of thunder damage, did you say?
Yes.
I'll use another first
20.
level spell slot to do absorb elements.
Yep. That halves it, doesn't it? So you take 20. Nathan, you take 20 for Grimnir. And Tine with a 28, you take 20 points of thunder damage as well.
Big piece
I suppose I can use a slumber point as currency for anything.
As you all get absolutely slammed by this thing. You also do notice that the fire creatures get blasted alongside you all. And that, as this huge, furious creature absolutely rips into you all with this attack, that is where we're going to end tonight.
Legit.
If you enjoyed tonight, join us next time to see what happens with, you might have guessed, I may not have said it, I can't remember, but a sapphire dragon has been routed out of its horde and isn't very happy. So thank you so much for joining us and being a part of tonight's game. An interesting one. We've had a lot of fighting. We've had a lot of RP. It's been a really interesting, dynamic game tonight. But if you enjoyed tonight and you want to see us again or any of our other games, we play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. GMT BST or 10 a.m. PT PST. You can also join us on Friday, again from 6 p.m. GMT BST or 10 a.m. PT PST for Together, our chat show where we interview our players, DMs, and other TTRPG industry voices. All of our shows are streamed on twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find us and all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows everywhere, so just search Roll Together RPG and they'll pop up. It'll be fantastic because we're streaming a load of previous shows and stuff like that, so it's a perfect time to be catching up with the worlds that we're creating. A massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There's a link in the chat now. Do join us. Every penny helps us keep creating this content that we do. And a big thanks again for our sponsors and supporters. And don't forget, we're all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.